This is
Hey everybody and welcome. And today we're going to be reviewing the Halloween trilogy. Well, technically, actually no, for how many movies are there now?
11, I believe.
Good lord. And now there's a 5th Scream coming out soon, so
Oh my god.
sounds like everybody's going to be reprising their roles, including the actress for Sydney.
Oh my god, that's exciting. That's so exciting.
That is, God bless it. Why in the world are they trying to bring that back too?
Nobody has any original thought anymore.
Not entirely. There's some good movies that are originals.
That's
like,
true.
let me see.
I don't know.
I don't really remember any of them, except for Deliver Us from Evil. That was a good one.
Yeah.
It Follows was stupid for me. I don't know why in the world I hated it so much. I'm not even joking here, people. I did not like It Follows. You'll see an episode in the future about that particular movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
If you want to follow the exploits of a ghost that is transmitted through sex, then yeah.
Kinky.
Just, I don't know why. Anyway, guys, today we are here with Puganeer 2020 and Billy Paddle once again. We're going to be doing Halloween.
Huzzah.
Halloween 1, 2, and 3, the original 3.
The original 3, yes.
Not the other sequels and not the remakes.
We can, throw a little tidbits in, though, right?
Yeah, of course. It's just, yeah, this is, well, thank you. But still, yeah, this is one of those franchises that pretty much set the standard for Halloween slashers at this point.
It's classic, pure gold.
Pretty much. It's one of those ones that just can't be, well, forgotten in any way. And take it from me, I've watched a lot of horror movies in my life, and I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that this one is one of those franchises that you just can't forget, even
Right.
if you try to.
No matter how hard.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when it comes down to it, I do have to say that think about all the other slashes that came out before this one. We had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we had Black Christmas.
Right.
That was it. Because, a little tidbit here, that movie actually came out before before that movie came out. It's been pretty interesting, though, to say the least.
What's Black Christmas about? I don't know that one.
Basically, a sorority sisters stay at their
And it had a
house,
killer.
and there's a psycho killer after them.
That was pretty stupid, that movie.
Which one? The original, the remake, or the second remake?
I don't know. I only remember one.
The original is
And it had a
honestly
hot
much
old
better.
lady in it.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
All
they're
three of
all
them
the same.
do. Here's the thing. The newest remake is all about women empowerment, but it completely botches that whole thing.
It's more like exploitive.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
In
downright
the guise
stupid.
of feminism, we're gonna take our shirt off.
Pretty much.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a really bad remake, guys. I highly recommend don't watch it. And the other one, Gore and Incest. Yeah, that was the first remake of Black Christmas. The original is a masterpiece compared to the other two.
That's really saying something.
Take it from me, it's actually really bad. I've seen both. And I've seen the original. The original is actually written well. It has great characters, and it actually has a really good story to it. And for what it's worth, the killer actually was a mystery.
Yeah.
Where the other two was kind of obvious.
Right.
And also, the plots were more stupid than the original one.
They're just not trying as hard.
True. Heck, if you think about it, if Halloween didn't show up, there's a good chance that that would have been the one that was called the grandfather of slasher movies.
Yuck. No, Michael Myers all the way.
Truly. Alright, so we're going to be looking at Halloween 1, 2, and of course, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And I know a lot of people out there are going to say, why are you reviewing that movie? That movie's just so stupid. I'm thinking of it as an original movie, personally. Because originally the idea was for it to be an anthology series, not the sequels that we get of Michael Myers.
Right.
So blame the fans on that one, not blame the creators on that. Though, honestly, the creators could have done a much better job.
Well, it was interesting to say the least.
It was interesting, but as its own movie.
Right.
But as a sequel to the Halloween series, no.
Terrible.
It doesn't belong at all.
Yeah, but again, that's why I kept telling them, as well as everybody else, it was supposed to be an anthology series before all the Michael Myers
Well,
stuff
and it's
came
in
out.
sequence, so it's the first three.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes
So,
sense to review.
alright, so we're going to start with the first Halloween, and same rules as before. We go by the categories as usual. From characters, story, I'm not putting it in order, but yeah, the story, here it is. Story, characters, music, design, and overall atmosphere. If it was games, we'd be doing gameplay.
Right.
Which, actually, here's a crazy thing. They actually did release a Halloween video game.
No way.
It was considered one of the rarest Atari games of all time.
It was an Atari?
Yeah,
Oh,
Atari 2600.
fancy.
And it was also very rare,
Yeah.
mainly because there was almost no stickers for it.
Oh.
They actually had to put a little sticker on it that wrote in orange marker Halloween.
Which feels so vibey, right?
Yeah.
For the movie.
Actually, the strange thing is the most violent video game of the time was Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah, that makes sense.
on the Atari.
I really want to see that. I don't know why.
It's an interesting game, I gotta say. And they've already made several Friday the 13th games, so not surprising that one would do really well.
I have
And
not seen one of them.
the games?
No.
The first one was mainly just you as a camp counselor running around and trying to defeat Jason Voorhees.
Funny.
Where in the newest one, you're online with other players, and your mission is to run away from Jason and try to gather supplies to get the heck out of there.
Okay.
So that one's more of a survival horror in this case.
What would it look like on an Atari, though?
Oh, no, the first one was actually, the first Friday the 13th was actually on NES.
Okay. Oh.
That makes a
my
little bit more
favorite.
sense.
Yeah, and the
okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween were both on the Atari.
Yeah, well, what would that look like, though? An
Weird.
orange ping pong thing?
No, they actually did pretty good on the look of some of the characters,
they?
actually, yeah.
Okay, we'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
We'll Google it.
But yeah, let's just say, I'm kind of surprised they didn't make a Halloween game, because just imagine what you could pull off if you were in a neighborhood trying to run away from him at that point. Or heck, try to defeat him, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Alright, so we have, of course, we're going to start off with story as usual, and we're going to go straight into, we're going to go into characters, music, design, and then atmosphere. Go in that order as usual, so.
Okay.
But, what did you guys think of all three movies all around? What would be your official scores if you were to give it? We'll start with the first one, though.
10.
10. Yeah, the first one is my favorite, actually. I like that one the most.
I think they
like that.
completely
I like
forgot
these.
the scoring system on this.
Oh, you mean the total score?
Oh, the total
Yes.
score.
Oh, okay.
Total score, because good lord,
I'm
if
gonna
that's
say
if a
49.
10 is what you call your favorite, then
Alright.
by God, I would
Alright.
not want to see the scores for Halloween 3.
You don't. But we'll get to that. Don't jump the gun. I'm gonna give it a 49.
Holy sweet
It's my
Jesus!
favorite. I like
Yeah.
this movie more than all the Jason movies.
I'll give it a 48. I think.
For me, 45.
That's pretty high for
Clearly,
you.
we all like. Yeah.
Well,
clearly we all like this.
There's actually a few.
franchise. Oh, I'm
There's a
sorry.
few little nitpicks I have to go with
Push
because.
Jimmy.
Not even kidding. There's a few nitpicks in this movie I have to address because it's outlining bullshit.
The driving. He knows how to drive. How? What? No.
No, more like that. They say that he was shot seven. They shot him around 7 times,
Right.
or 5 times, or 6 times. Make up your damn mind movies.
Yeah, he's magic. That's why he got away.
No, not that. How in the world do they not know how to count?
Well.
That too.
Because good lord, I heard the shots. It was 3. How did he suddenly get into 6?
Well, you know. Yeah, that's a plot.
And here's the thing: the sequel added more gun sounds, so they
That's
matched up
true.
to 6. I'm
See,
like,
they were covering their
why?
tracks. They were like, goodness, we made a mistake. Let us be cohesive.
Yeah, not to mention he
Despite
fell
the
through the
hair.
freaking
Ugh.
front balcony instead of the back balcony, like in the original movie.
Yeah,
Good
there's some issues.
lord.
There's some issues, yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. For as much as I love the
Still
movie,
best one though.
I wouldn't say that, but we'll get to that in a moment.
All right.
All right. First of all, we gotta talk about the story, and we'll start with Puccaneer here. What do you think of the story?
I think it's interesting. I don't know what to say. I think it's great. I
Like, what were your
the-
favorite parts of the movie?
Well, I like Laurie Strode.
Love
You know,
Lori.
she's
Love her.
awesome. I like the fact that she's a total final girl.
She is, all the way.
Yeah,
Bang.
yeah.
Yes, she is. We love her.
There's a lot of little discrepancies between the original and the, I don't know, I'm not supposed to bring this up, but the Rob Zombie remake,
Oh, I have so
which
much to
drives
say.
me crazy.
Wait, which discrepancies are you talking about?
Oh, just the fact that in the original he only kills his sister Judith, but in the remake he kills the stepfather, the sister's boyfriend, and the fact that
You know he also killed the bully, right?
yes,
That was the first
Yeah.
kill.
and then also the fact that in the remake, the Rob Zombie remake, the sheriff takes the baby, Jamie Lee Curtis, to a nearby town and drops her off at the ER, and she gets adopted versus, you know, the original,
And
which is
how does he find her?
Right.
Give me a break, Rob.
and
Zombie.
and then he in the original she goes to the aunt and uncle.
That
and
makes
his
more
original-
sense
yes.
for Michael to find her because he goes to the house.
Yes,
and she's
yes.
involved with the.
That's why the Rob
she's
Zombie one
she's
is like
the first one to walk up to the. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
that-
I mean,
that's a more
not that I
cohesive.
didn't like the Rob Zombie movie because I did,
Okay.
but not as much as the first one.
No, I think even though you don't get as much backstory and much.
I do like the
As much
backstory
plot.
part of, not that their backstory was completely accurate,
Right.
but I
In the
like the
Rob Zombie one.
backstory. I like being able to get a little bit of a history
Right.
on Michael Myers.
I still
more
feel
so.
though that in the first film, even though we don't get as much, and I'm big on character development and plot, I still feel like they're more endearing, the characters
Oh,
in the
much
first
more,
film
much more enduring.
versus the remake.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's you. I guess
Or
you
3,
you
too.
don't really know until towards the end that they're related, right? That Jamie
Nope.
and that Laurie.
Halloween
and Michael,
never mentioned that
like,
at all.
addresses it, right?
Right.
Halloween, the original Halloween, never mentioned them being siblings.
But in the second movie, is
The
it
second
more
movie,
implied?
yes.
Yes.
Why do you think in the 2018 version that in that story
They
that was
didn't
just
do
something that was made up?
Right.
Because the sequel was the one who introduced them as siblings, not the 2018 remake this time.
Right. Well,
They
in the
completely
first
botched
movie-
the idea and just said, screw it.
I like how Lori says in class, she says that fate is like an element, earth, air, fire, water, that fate never changes. I felt like that was sort of like the real subtle hint in their storyline, like she and Michael are destined to have this interaction no matter what.
Pretty much.
No, she's not really aware of him.
Yeah.
He's vastly aware of her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I felt that they were a lot more subtle with the story, which usually bothers me, but somehow they really pulled it off with the actors in the
Definitely.
in the first movie. I think they did it really. I don't know why, because usually that's like my pet peeve, but I felt like they really. They endeared you to, and I even have a strange bit of sympathy for Michael in this
I do
movie.
too, yeah.
I don't know why, because he's way murdery, but
Yeah, but you think about, well, see.
nature versus nurture.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, in this
So-
case, though, the original Halloween, I'm just going to put my few cents here, that the original Halloween definitely made it more of a mystery.
Right.
And that's actually kind of the reason why I like some villains over others.
Right.
Because of the mystery. Like the Joker from the Batman series. You do not know his backstory at all. He gives so many fake stories, you don't even know which one's real.
Yeah.
So, in a way, it adds to the mystery of the character.
Right.
So you really don't know what's going on through his head.
There's an intrigue. And,
Hold on. She has a text. You may need to mute your phone.
Sorry.
Well, we already know who's going to be owing us drinks later.
Sorry. Excuse me.
But, yeah, when it comes down to it, the air of the mystery is one of the better parts about some villains. Like, look at Maleficent, or...
Right. It makes them more intriguing, I think.
Exactly.
It draws you to them more.
Not to mention, they just do evil because they love being evil.
Right.
And they enjoy it in a way. Or like Vincent Price with Ratigan. Look at him. Vincent Price, good lord, I could talk about him for ages, but he loved playing the villain, especially when he just goes all out. And you can barely even tell it's him.
Right.
When he gets in the role, he's in the role. He is the character.
In the original, it is like nature, I believe.
Right.
Whereas, like in the remake, let's just say it's a little bit of both.
Right.
It's nature and nurture, because obviously he was screwed up to begin with.
Right.
But then on top of it, look at his
His home environment.
Yeah, look at his. Yeah, his home
Horrifying.
environment. Yeah, the Rob Zombie remake did a really good job of analyzing his psychological profile.
That was
in a way.
definitely a nature nurture both, whereas it's more a nature thing in the original.
Right.
It was inherently not
Good.
He was there was something
Yeah.
inherently wrong with him.
Honestly, I think I felt more sympathy for the Michael Myers and the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah, I do too.
Than I
because
did
he had a
in the
horrible
original
life.
because, good lord, the amount of stuff he went through
That
was
goes away
insane.
for
yeah.
me as soon as he kills Trujillo. He was his friend.
Oh, that's
It went
true.
away. I had
Yeah.
sympathy for him
Yeah.
until he
No,
did that. and
I
then was
honestly
like, no,
still
he's
have a little bit because he was mainly messed up from
yeah.
his
no,
environment
I
more
agree.
than he was from his himself. Because honestly, I think if he never was in that environment, there's a good chance he would have had at least somewhat of a normal life.
Right.
Where in the original, he was messed up from the start, and there's nothing he could have done.
The sad thing is that that Rob Zombie version of the movie depicts too many lifestyles out there,
Right.
and it's scary and sad, and it proves what nurture
Really can do for
really
a person.
can do
Really,
for,
yeah.
or
the lack thereof.
the lack thereof. Yes.
Yeah, because
damage horribly.
yeah, and if you look at the remake, he adores his sister to death,
He
and he
does,
would
yes.
never hurt her at all, and he loves his mother to death as well.
The baby, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh
the baby,
yeah, totally.
his baby sister
He called
and
her
his
Boo, and
yeah, that's his little nickname for her,
yeah,
Baby
yeah,
Boo.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, it's kind of interesting. It shows that he has empathy in that version.
Yeah.
Where in the other one, he has nothing at all.
But
He
see
is
that
basically
that's
just
why
a
I say
drone.
the Rob Zombie remake is definitely nature nurture both,
Right.
and the other one is definitely it's like he's vacant.
Yeah.
He's like vacant of any kind of
Rob is so like
empathy.
gratuitous though with his violence and his gore and the
sex
TNA
and
that
all
I
that.
feel that distracts from the characters. It distracts from
It
the
does, it
story.
does.
Have
It bothers
you
me.
watched House of a Thousand Corpses,
Yes,
Devil
I have.
Rejects, and
Which is
Free
a
from
per-
Hell?
It's
Yeah,
so
that's
predictable
yeah.
though it becomes boring.
He
Because
literally-
you know there's gonna be
No,
tit
it's
and there's
not-
gonna be gore and it's like
That is
that's
his-
the point.
You
of
want to
the
know
story,
something?
You know,
That he is literally his own subgenre.
He
I'm not
is.
even joking.
He is.
he's just Marilyn Manson. That's
Hill-
all it is. I
Hillbilly
know.
trash sagas.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It's so
Pretty much.
It's gratuitous that it
Yeah.
bores me. 'Cause
But,
it's predictable. I'm sorry.
But yeah, honestly, I do love Laurie Strode. She does a
Yes,
She
yes.
does.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Good Lord, she's one of the original Scream queens.
She is.
Yep.
We
She
love
is-
her more than anyone.
Yeah.
She is honestly, she had the perfect role for that
did.
movie
And
because
she's way more endearing than
Yes,
than,
yes.
than Rob Zombie.
She
Honestly,
was a
the
good
Rob Zombie one was not that
babysitter.
bad.
She was a good student.
She is.
She was a good daughter. She was
the
just,
old Girl Scout comes through again.
Yeah.
honestly, the
yeah.
Rob Zombie one I actually like too.
I don't
because-
like her. I don't like her. I
And
don't find her
God
endearing at
knows
all.
how she managed to find these friends of hers because they were so mean all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
trust me, I've had friends like that
It's
too.
terrible.
Honestly though,
That's just high school.
but if we,
Yeah.
high school sucks.
Sadly.
Thank God I never did high
I don't
school.
recall ever being that mean to my friends, though, to be honest.
all of my friends were frenemies. No.
Yeah, see, I was never like that as a friend.
Sad.
I never
And it's
did high
pathetic.
school. I did homeschool most of the entire 4 years. So yeah, I'm really grateful I didn't go through that. Even my friend Jeffrey says there's a good chance I would have committed suicide within the first 2
Right.
years.
It's harsh. High school is brutal.
Yeah,
So
luckily
I
enough,
think
my
once you
friend
find
Jeffrey
your
died.
little tribe, even if they are kind of trash, like Lori's friends,
Yeah.
like you hang with them. You
They're
know?
not as
even though they
trashy
don't
as
mesh,
the other ones, though.
you know, as well.
Yeah, but honestly, for what it's worth, though, I also love Donald Pleasance. Good Lord,
Yeah, yeah.
him playing Dr. Loomis is freaking
oh,
amazing.
I like the-
I feel so bad for him. He's like the town drunk, right? Like
No,
no, I'm saying
he's the town doctor
no,
that
I know
literally.
he is, but I'm saying compare it to the Jason one. He's the one that tells the truth the whole time, and nobody effing believes him.
Are you
ever.
talking about the original?
The
Dr.
original or
Loomis,
the
yes.
remake?
Yes, I
Dr.
loved
Loomis.
him.
Nobody believes
I didn't like
him.
the new Loomis
Nobody
as much.
listens to
Actually-
him, and then they all get pissed at him when he's like,
Right.
see?
Yeah, I told
Actually,
ya.
here's the thing. I actually think that both Rob Zombie and the original are good. Though I do still
They're
prefer the
good.
original better. But
Yes.
however, I do like the
I
director's
agree.
cut of that Rob Zombie movie because he made him more sympathetic. And in a way,
Yeah.
and not to mention, they
And he
address...
actually cared about Michael.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
where
he
in the
showed
original version,
affection.
he didn't even give a
No,
crap.
no, that's
He thought of
true.
him as a monster. Where in the
But he
in the
did
remake,
try to save everyone else. He
yeah,
tried his damnedest
and not only
to
that,
save
when they
everyone.
address his book sales, like the sheriff, played by Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky, literally addressed that he was selling his book. I thought that was very clever. It made him question his integrity on the whole
Right.
situation, but
Right.
you could tell he does still
Yeah,
care.
he does have
He did.
empathy
And
for
even
him.
when
He's
he
the
was
only
begging,
character I like.
and
In the
also,
remake.
here's the thing: in the remake, he actually was begging for Michael to let his sister go,
Right,
and even blamed himself still for failing to save him.
right.
So,
Yeah.
as much as I hate it, I actually do love the remake more than the original. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm not.
But I do love Donald Pleasance's performance as just a dude who is outright wanting to kill him.
Right.
Yeah, I like both, but I prefer.
I find it interesting that
original.
I think it's because he portrays. Maybe it's because Rob portrays his characters more honestly. Everybody's kind of a
Right.
dick.
Right.
Everybody's a little
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah.
Everybody's a little nasty.
Oh,
and
trust me,
rude and
everybody-
mean.
Oh yeah, everybody
know,
has that
The
dark
first-
side to him.
The
Right.
first
Maybe
Loomis
that's
is
why I
more
don't like it.
disconnected.
Right. I know. I just meant all the characters in general in the remake.
Oh,
are,
yeah, yeah,
are a little
yeah.
more brutal. Maybe
Oh,
more
God,
honest.
yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't like them as much. I don't feel as endeared to them because
Yeah.
they're all kind of assholes.
Right, right,
you know?
right.
Nobody's like super like Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Yeah.
She endears you immediately because
Oh, yeah.
she's a sweet, gentle. The way that she treats the Tommy and
And
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
She calls them
and-
her babies.
Yeah,
you know? she's good
And
to
she
them.
made
She's
sure
so
that they were
gentle.
safe
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
she's
even
one of
though
those.
the other Lori does take care of the other kids. You know,
She's kinda
nasty.
mean.
She's a little bit
I
of a
know.
Yeah,
bitch.
here's the thing.
So-
She literally will go to hell and high water to
Yeah.
ensure that those kids stay
Yeah.
Right.
safe.
Yeah.
Right.
And even
That's
when
her
her own
priority.
life was in danger,
Right.
she would literally put her own life on.
Yes,
but we
that
should
was
really
her
discuss her
priority.
in the next category. But
Right.
still, for what it's worth, you could tell that the characters really made the story work in the
oh
original.
god,
They did,
yes,
yes.
yeah. That's what makes. That's what actually, in part, makes me that be my favorite.
Right.
My favorite
Because of the
movie.
characters. That's
Yeah,
why I like
totally.
the first one
Yeah.
the most.
Okay.
Definitely.
This is also the reason why I don't think this is a perfect story. One is the sheer fact that they completely botched the ending. And I don't mean like it's anything bad. The ending is great. It's just that there's some inaccuracies that make the sequel completely wait,
What
why
happened?
did they change this? Because technically he only shot him, I think, like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Where in the sequel, Halloween 2, they said that he shot him 6 times.
Right.
Where were the other 3 shots?
Oh, I
They
have
were
a question for
figurative.
you.
They were emotional
I can't
shots.
remember right offhand which one this was in, the second or the first, but when he shoots, or maybe it was in the remake. Remember when he gets shot in both eyes,
That was the remake.
and it
She
was
shoots
like,
Remake.
oh my god,
Yeah.
he can't. I mean,
Well, Halloween's
He's
Michael
the
Myers is
supernatural being. He's
Yeah,
the
it's true.
mountain. Hello.
true.
actually he was actually played by a wrestler.
We looked him up.
He's in the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we
He
looked him
plays
up.
the mountain.
He
I
is
know, right?
Yeah.
6'9",
Yeah, the dude is
giant, massive.
looked him up, okay?
Yeah. We looked him up from
He's
bottom
actually
to top.
he's actually real. He's actually a really cool guy.
He is
Actually,
cool. Yeah.
Really nice dude.
Yeah.
According to some behind the scenes stuff, he was honestly the nicest guy you'll ever meet in the crew.
Right.
When they were making
Oh,
this
I'm
movie,
sure of that.
even Michael Myers, the kid actor, good lord, he looked up to this dude like he was his idol
he's
back
like
then.
a gentle giant.
He's a gentleman.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Even the dude who plays the truck driver in the remake.
Oh yeah, the black
Another-
guy.
Yeah, he actually
he's
was
cool
in
too.
most of his. He is actually in the Devil's Rejects.
Right.
Yes,
And a
yes.
few other Rob Zombie movies
Yes.
as well.
Same with the clown guy.
Congrats to him for surviving. Bang.
Yes,
Break
Bang
that
is
trope.
right.
Huh?
Wait,
Break-
Yeah.
surviving what? He
In the
died.
second one.
No, in
second one.
the
In the remake, he died.
In the second one.
no, we're talking about the second guy.
Oh.
No, the third. It's the third
Third
movie.
movie?
The third movie.
Yeah, remember?
Oh, the third. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
But yeah,
See
well,
what happens
again,
when we
we'll
watch
go.
all
We'll
of
get
them.
to that in a moment. But let's go with final
yes, he
score
didn't
for
get it.
story.
Didn't make it.
What would you guys give the first Halloween story?
I'm gonna say 9.
Yep.
Because even though there's plot holes, there's enough mystery and
And depth.
right. And
All right, so
enough
9 and a
that you
9.
can infer. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel 9.
I'm willing to give it a 8. But only because some of those things are more nitpicks in my personal opinion. And
Yeah, like the driving. My personal problem.
no,
Thank you.
there are people in the hospital that can drive, sadly enough.
Okay.
Where
He drives so well. Like it's not
Yeah, but-
like goodness. I'm
so
nervous
well, my
getting
butt.
behind this motor vehicle.
I mean, what
for
did
the
he
first
get?
time ever.
Oh, no.
Did he have, like,
Here's
a
the thing.
fake steering
He drives like
wheel
I
and
do.
practiced? I mean,
He literally drives like I did when I first started driving with my license. I literally was just so nervous and driving on
He
the
doesn't
road
look nervous
slower.
at all. He looks like I'm so chill. I could be smoking a joint and listening to Blue Oyster Cult, like his tradition in the Halloween movies. Right? Come on. He looks
Okay,
so
that's
chill.
just other characters, not Michael.
No, it's not. But I'm saying he drives as chill as they do. You know what I mean?
True.
like when he slams on his brake when they yell at him.
Right. He's like, Psh, I know how to drive. Like I've been doing it for years. You know, inappropriately behind the scenes in the mental health institution. You know what I mean?
True.
That's a plot hole. That bothers me. Whatever. Moving on.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Lord. Hell, even Dr. Loomis said that someone could have taught him in that place.
Yeah,
Good
I think
Lord.
they
So
threw
I
that
think
in
you.
after like what is that, an audience review? Because they're all like, what?
Good Lord. But yeah. Other than that, there was
Yeah.
mainly just how the gun was shot, and of course a few other inaccuracies that just kind of threw me off. But I still think it's a. Oh, oh, that hurt. But honestly, excuse me, of course. The story was still fantastic overall.
Right.
And now we're gonna get into the characters.
We love
Which-
them.
Good Lord.
We
Just
love them.
imagine the amount of characters they have for this movie. It's just, all of them were so good.
The sheriff is kind of a pervert in the first one. Brackett? Sheriff Brackett? Is that his name?
No, he was never like that.
wasn't
He
a
barely
pervert.
got any freaking lines.
Remember when he first interacts with Lori? He's like, "Hi, Lori."
Oh yeah, a little bit.
We both
Yeah.
agreed we didn't care for him.
Maybe he
much.
was just being really friendly because it was her friend.
Yeah, because maybe... Yeah, because
He's a
I'm
little
guessing
creepy. He's a
I'm
little
guessing
creepy.
the other girl in the group might have been the problem. So I guess he was just trying to play nice so he
Right,
doesn't
right.
literally blow up in her face.
That's true. No,
I'd
Which-
like to know whether or not that was a joint they were smoking or a cigarette.
I'm guessing a joint.
Yeah, but why was it brown?
Oh, then
Like
maybe
a cigarette butt.
then maybe it is that. Yeah.
No, but
No,
why would she
she
say,
says-
oh,
I think it
he
was
could
cigarette.
smell it. He could smell
You could
it.
smell smoke. Cigarette smoke.
Yeah. I
It's
can.
a joint.
Okay, well, I don't know.
You don't.
No, I
They
actually.
didn't act high at all.
They did. Lori
No,
does
I
ever
actually
so
with.
slightly.
I'm actually with Pugginator on this one. I think it
No,
was a
you
cigarette.
guys are wrong. Google it.
We're going to have to look into this
Joint.
because I
It's
really
a
don't
joint.
believe it was a joint.
It's gotta be.
I don't think they acted
original?
high. I think that if they had stopped, whether they had put the joint or cigarette out or not, the cop would have known.
Well, what would he care, really? He knows his daughter.
You know that
It
technically.
doesn't matter.
A
He's
wild
guys-
a cop.
thing.
He's a cop.
You guys know that
He
technically
has to-
around that time frame, marijuana was technically illegal, right?
Yes, of course.
So they wouldn't have been able to have that during the movie.
Oh, sure they could have. They could do anything in the movies. But listen, though, we should look into that because I am very curious.
It's
Also,
hot. You guys
actually-
you
Look
guys
it up.
are high.
Actually,
Look it up.
here's something. The actress who plays the sheriff's daughter, named Nancy Loomis.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh,
She
yeah,
comes
that was
back-
kinda
Is
weird.
it the third movie?
Oh, yes! She was in
plays
the
like
third.
a mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a nurse.
No,
no, it's like a mom.
No,
She's-
she was.
No, you're right. You're right. It was a mom.
So she comes back in the second one as her body, Annie's body. And then is it the second or the third that she makes an appearance when they're walking around in the neighborhood?
No,
Maybe
it's
gotta
the
be
second.
one. She
The
plays
second
like a
one,
mom
she
as
was
well.
in a. She was basically being dragged off in a body bag
Right.
because she died
Yes.
in the original
But they
Halloween
also
2.
have
In the
her-
new Halloween 2, made by Rob Zombie, she lived.
Right.
So
Yeah, she went on a date with her boyfriend
Paul.
that they never met up with in the first one.
Right. Right. No, but the actress that plays the original Annie.
No,
makes
I
a
agree.
cameo
He
in-
does.
I think
She
it's
was
the
a
third
cameo.
one.
Oh, and also,
Is it
you
the
want
third one?
It was either the third or the second. I think it
no,
was the third.
not the
though.
third. She was never in the third.
So it's got to be the second one. So she double
She-
cameos in that. She's
Yeah, she
Annie
cameos as
and
a dead
random
body.
Mom in the.
No, she
universe.
cameos as a dead body.
Okay, we'll watch it again
Nathaniel.
later, dear. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
Also,
we're gonna prove this to
We
you.
will.
here's another interesting one. It was in the remake. Basically, Laurie Strode's cousin, if you guys know Halloween 4 and 5, she eventually becomes Laurie's best friend and daughter of the sheriff in the remakes.
Ah, okay.
I'm like, wait, are you serious?
That's wild.
Oh,
I haven't
good
seen
lord.
those ones yet. We saw 1 through 3 and then the zombie one.
Let me see. Yeah, but in the in Halloween the one, honestly, the characters were all so amazing.
They were. I liked
Laurie
them.
Strode, Dr. Loomis, and Michael Myers. All three of them were amazing.
They
Some
were,
of the
yeah.
best freaking characters in the movie. The other side characters, surprisingly, are pretty decent as well. And wouldn't you know, the blonde best friend out of the three?
Mm-hmm.
She actually would go on to the movie Carrie,
Oh, that's wild.
wearing the red baseball cap.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's wild. That's
Yep.
wild. I loved all the extra characters and the actors in the second and the third one that showed up from
And
all
of
the
course,
different horror movies. That was too.
And of course, the woman that was with
cool.
Dr. Loomis, she's been in every movie until H2O,
Oh, that's
until she
crazy.
died.
Wow.
Yeah, her
That's
character gets
awesome.
killed.
It's a tradition. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually kind of one character that has remained with the franchise, except for 3, obvious reasons.
Right, right.
But yeah, she's one of those recurring characters that's shown up in almost every movie until Halloween H2O, where her character gets killed off.
That's wild.
And technically, there was actually supposed to be a sequel to Halloween H2O.
Was there?
Yep, but of course, continue well wishes to the family of Mustafa Khan and his daughter, who were killed in Jordan by an Al Qaeda attack.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So rest in peace to both of you guys. Mustafa Khan was known as the grandfather of Halloween. He basically funded every single Halloween movie up till H2O.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and his son Malik took over and started funding the remaining movies so far.
That's great. That's
From the Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 remake to the Halloween 2018.
That's awesome.
Yeah, honestly, it's really nice that the family is still continuing to help out with the Halloween
Yeah,
franchise.
that
'Cause
they're keeping it in the family, right?
yeah.
Keeping the tradition alive.
It says
For
right here
fans?
that Master Chief 2011 would have given the story an 8.
An 8? Well, I mean, there are major plot holes. There are plot holes.
Yeah, most of them are minor, but again, mainly just because, I can nitpick all I want, damn it. But yeah, basically, yeah. for
I
that
love
one.
that that they have Forbidden Planet playing in like almost all of the movies. That was pretty fun.
She was in Halloween 2, Halloween 3.
Wait,
She Googled.
hold on. Who was she playing in Halloween 3?
In Halloween
She's
3.
a mom. She's just a random mom in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
I believe
isn't
so. As well as roles in 2. Oh, let's see. She played. She also played the role of Linda Chalice in Halloween 3.
She's
Oh.
the wife? Oh, that's sad.
Oh,
my-
we hear bitching every
oh,
time.
yeah.
Oh, holy shit!
Okay, so we
I
didn't
didn't
see
even
her in
recognize
We didn't
her.
even know that.
I didn't
Wow.
even recognize her. Holy
Look how it all
freaking
comes full
hell!
circle. My mind just blew
Okay,
up.
so Annie. Brackett in
Wow,
Halloween.
I did not expect that, folks. I originally thought she was never in 3. I didn't even know she was the
Wow.
ex-wife.
It says she is best known for her role Annie Brackett and in Halloween and in the sequel Halloween 2. She also played the role of Linda
Wow,
Chalice. Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. Because I remember
Crazy.
we did see her in 2
Yeah.
as a cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know she was in 2.
I think when they're
She was the dead body that was being
No, but she was
carted
a-
around.
She
she
was.
plays 2 characters in
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
one. So she's the body, because I was like, what the hell?
That is
Yes.
so stupid.
It's very
Yeah.
weird. She's like, but they aged her a little bit,
Mhm.
and she's
Oh.
like, when they're calling the neighborhood people, like, oh, there's a killer on the loose, look out. She's one of the parents.
Yes.
She's like a wife in one of the houses.
Makes sense.
That was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
All right.
Random.
Yeah.
Actually, here's another thing. Remember when Lori was trying to get help?
Yeah.
No one would help her?
No.
Everybody kept-
Oh, that's in
They shut the
Scream.
light off.
So that moment when she yells, oh God, what's it from? It's in the second movie. I jumped the gun. There are 2 moments in the second movie with Laurie that Drew Barrymore reenacts sort of in Scream that I was like, oh my God.
Right.
That's so crazy.
Why do you think that Halloween was so influential?
right?
Heck, even
was
and
exciting.
here's the thing: in the 2018 version of Halloween 2, and well, technically it's Halloween 2, but 2018. But in that one, when Laurie's granddaughter calls for help, someone actually tries to help.
Oh,
Like, good lord, why couldn't you be like them, you
right?
freaking bastards?
Because people are all like, ew, no, I don't want to get involved.
Oh lord.
I liked the ingenuity with the hanger. That was cool.
Yeah.
She's a fighter. I mean, she has moments where she screams obnoxiously and she's panicking, but then she's like, okay,
Well,
get
here's
my
the thing:
shit together
it's genuine
and fight
screaming. She's being
Right.
chased by a freaking psycho
this.
killer
Right,
like
no,
her
but I
mother.
mean, like the others just scream and they don't think to fight back.
Oh,
really
and
well.
if you guys are also,
Lori does.
if you guys are wondering about the reference, her mother is the same one who played the shower girl in Psycho.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently a tradition with that family is literally being hunted down by freaking psycho killers. I actually kind of feel sorry for them now.
It's a tradition. Every family has
Tradition
a
my
tradition.
butt. I feel they just got bad luck there.
Yeah,
What's
like-
next? Her actual daughter or son takes over the whole role in that one?
I think that would be really cool. I think that they should. They should make sure to have one little.
Dear God, I feel
you know.
I feel sorry for her now. But yeah, for as much as I love, but yeah, the characters are some of the best in the original Halloween. I'm just gonna
Definitely.
say straight
Ew,
up.
Bob. What is that? Linda's boyfriend made a really gross joke about Annie's sister. Remember?
Oh
Lindsay.
yeah.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
That surprised
And you
us.
thought that Rob Zombie was vulgar.
Well,
For back then, that was bad.
both sides there are
Yeah.
pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And he says, "I'll be right back." So
Right,
you
right.
know.
oh yeah, another
Yeah.
reference to Scream.
Right.
Well, and he's gonna
Actually,
die.
technically, Scream
Anybody-
references that most of the horror movie tropes anyway.
And anybody that says I'm gonna be right back ends up dead. So.
Right.
Pretty much, and
That's
that
just the
one
way
was
it goes.
definitely the first one to really implement that.
Right.
So yeah, what would you guys rate this one for characters?
For characters, they're my
Oh,
favorite.
10.
They're my favorite.
I'm
Yeah.
willing to agree with you guys. 10 easily. Because honestly, I do love Donald Pleasance,
Yep.
Oh,
Jamie
yeah.
Lee Curtis.
I like
All of them
I
did
love
a
Jamie
really
more
good
than
job.
Any actress.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the genre, she
Yeah.
is my.
I think my other
ideal
favorite would be Sigourney Weaver
She's pretty
from
good.
the Alien movies.
But I still like
She
her
comes
better.
in second. She comes in
Yeah.
second for me.
Second my butt. She at least fights back and kills the freaking villain.
That's true, but she.
Unlike freaking Jamie
the
Lee
third
Curtis
movie,
has.
Let's not. I don't want to start.
She's
ranting.
not as endearing though as Jamie Lee Curtis.
She's a
is.
badass. She's the most
Yeah,
badass
she's a
mother.
badass. Yeah.
Here's the thing. She's the most badass mother in film history.
She is. We love her. Don't mistake our love for Lori as a lack of love for Sigourney. Okay.
Just
All
a
right.
different love.
It's different
All right,
love.
here we go. So now we're gonna go into music.
Oh.
Oh,
Dear sweet
classic. Classic.
John Carpenter. Dude.
That's my
You mean
ringtone.
possibly-
It
That's
is.
been my ringtone for years.
You've broken
Here,
me
I'm
on that?
here.
I think I've
Actually,
been brainwashed, 'cause I do
I'm
like
actually
the
gonna do
music.
this for you guys. I'm actually gonna call her phone, and you're gonna hear it. Here we go.
Oh, I turned it off.
She muted it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
You brainwashed me. in
All right,
that.
hang on.
Because,
hold on.
I
give
ended
me a
it. All right,
second.
give me. All right, hold on, just for a second, everyone.
The first time
Yeah,
I
turn
heard
it up.
it, I didn't like
Hold
it.
on.
But
Yeah, just the phone call volume mainly.
Okay.
All right, guys. Here we go. You're gonna hear it. I'm not joking.
This has been my ringtone for years.
brainwashing.
Never change.
Brainwashing.
Yeah, this is one of those. Yeah, like I said, Pugganeer loves this movie.
Oh yeah.
But my God, John Carpenter, on par with John Williams as one of the best composers in film history.
Yeah. I do
Because,
like it.
good Lord,
John Williams, what does he do?
John Williams does Star Wars, Indiana Jones,
Oh,
Superman,
yeah, definitely.
It's a classic.
and
Yeah.
one who is still
Classic.
alive and is still doing the themes even to this day,
That's
including
awesome.
with a brand new Indiana Jones movie coming out soon.
That's what I heard. I
Go
heard that.
Andy.
So it's hard to believe, 5 movies in with that franchise.
I do
But
like
yeah.
this music more than the Jason.
Yeah, when it
Oh
comes,
God, yes.
So much more, far superior.
yeah, and when it comes down to it, the music is just absolutely fantastic, and good God, just the amount of stuff that they do.
We were, Desiree and I were looking into. I don't remember where. Did you find it online? There's a couple new Halloween movies coming out.
There's 2 new ones. Too.
Oh.
In one in
Jesus Christ's
2021 and one in May 2021 and no October 2021 and October 2022.
You gotta be kidding.
No.
A new novel, comic books, and
Video game.
a video game.
Yeah.
A Halloween video
I don't
game.
know if it's new. I know that. I mean, the movies are supposed to be new, but I don't know if the comic book and the novelization.
Yeah,
are
who
new.
knows?
Oh no, they've done comic books about Michael Myers for years.
Right. Right.
Like the one that Phoenix Fire talked about with the
Yes.
whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I was thrilled about the
a
two
brand new
movies.
Halloween video game. Jesus, criminy sake! Last time we had that was back in the 1980s. Damn it!
It should be interesting.
I want to see the movies.
I know.
The movies. I already have a feeling that those are still going to be good.
I hope so.
I think the music. I'm gonna say a solid 10.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it. I've
Absolutely.
been brainwashed by you with your damn ringtone for over a year now.
Right.
So that might be part of why. But it does have a vibe about it.
It does.
It's creepy. It's
Yep.
you know immediately something ominous is gonna happen.
Right.
Not to mention, it is the perfect theme for some of the suspenseful moments in the franchise.
Right.
Definitely.
And good God, it's a
It
theme
has
song that
attention.
almost everyone pretty much knows. I actually remember putting this one time on my trivia back before I ever did this channel. And I swear to God, as soon as I put in the first note, everyone
Everybody
started
knew.
writing
Oh,
down
yeah.
the name of the
Everybody
movie.
knew.
I'm like, well, that was freaking quick.
Do you know what?
Right.
A tidbit, which I actually tried to look this up online, but I could not. I couldn't pull anything up. There are so many movies with Night of the Living Dead
Playing in the
on the
background.
TV
Yeah.
in the background of movies.
Oh yeah, of course.
you
It's
bothered
one.
up.
It's the one of
I'd
the
like
greatest.
to. I know. I'd like to be able to know how many movies or what the movies are because I've seen it. So every time I see it, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God,
There
Night
it
of the
is,
Living
there it
Dead!"
is.
Yeah,
My
it's like
favorite.
it's like in the remake for Rob Zombie. It was The Thing in that
Right.
case,
Mm-hmm.
where which is understandable. The Thing from Another World is a fantastic movie.
I thought it was Forbidden Planet.
No, it's The Thing from Another World, and eventually became The Thing in the 1980s. It was remade twice.
Right.
All I know is that Night of the Living Dead is my all-time favorite. So from way back,
Yeah.
and every time I see it on TV, on a movie, on a TV,
Right.
I know that sounds odd the way I expressed it.
In the background of
In
the
the background
movie.
of the
playing
movie,
it on the TV.
I I'm like, oh my God!
It's exciting.
Nightmare.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, when it comes down to other
I think, isn't it
movies,
Shaun of the Dead? At
It's-
some point?
it's-
It's gotta
yes,
be.
yes.
It's gotta be.
Dawn of
Yes,
the Dead,
probably.
Shaun of the Dead, all those Dead movies basically were based off of Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
Even though Shaun of the Dead is technically a parody of Dawn of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, of course, got a lot of its
Well, there is
tropes
a clip.
from that one.
There is a clip in one of the movies, one of the 3 movies we watched. one of the 1, 2, or 3. I can't remember which one.
It was Halloween 1 that they showed Night of the
somebody,
Living Dead. Including in Halloween 2. And
I think it was Lindsay was watching it, or one of the...
it was the kids that were watching it.
Yeah.
The kids were watching Night of the Living Dead.
The first movie that they're watching. The kids are watching Forbidden Planet. I know. It's a very distinctive soundtrack.
Yeah,
Well, they were both watching TV, though.
Right.
And I think one was watching one and the other one was watching another. I think,
Lindsay.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah,
I just think it's cool because it's like my ultimate favorite.
It's like a little nod.
a little nod to the classics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, actually, there's actually kind of a funny scene.
Oh, you should have wore your Birds shirt.
Oh, that's true.
She just got a new Birds shirt.
Nice.
The movie The Birds.
Here's actually a little funny that, and this is actually a little bit of and I'm just gonna go off track just for this one moment because
that's how we roll.
I have to reference this. That in the Halloween Rob Zombie remakes, Michael Myers doesn't kill people who love horror movies. Because you notice that he could have killed the little girl in the movie, yet she was watching a thing from another world. He literally turned away and decided to go after someone else.
Aww.
Well, he didn't kill either of the kids.
No.
Yeah, exactly. They were watching horror movies. He's like,
Yeah, but maybe it was
you appreciate the
because he just
classics.
has more empathy for children.
Mm-hmm.
Their innocence.
Well, that too, but I think the other is because that they love the horror movies he watched.
Fandom. It's like a relatable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't kill a fan.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to kill a fan of a good movie. And of course, looks like Massachusetts 2011 gives characters a 9.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to the soundtrack is just one of the best in horror movie
10,
history.
10, 10.
More than pretty much any other horror film I know of, because
I recognized the music before I even saw the movies, that's saying a lot for.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a classic. It's
It
a
is.
classic tune.
Yeah, so basically 10 all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know there's so many kids who watch Halloween or have not watched Halloween, but would recognize the theme right
Wait
away.
a second, yeah.
Just shows you how iconic that
Well,
theme
say
is.
so is Jason.
That's true.
Jason.
Oh, please. Yeah, we know.
Sorry, but
know
it
that
is though. It's that not as classic as Halloween, or as good.
Where in this
But it's
case,
still-
like Nightmare on Elm Street had an okay soundtrack, but its character was one of the most iconic because it was played by one actor.
Right.
Also, the dude who plays Michael Myers in the movie, Nick Castle, well done on that one, dude. Seriously,
Yeah.
fantastic job for playing the very first Michael Myers album.
Yeah. I like him the most too. You can tell that he's like younger, like he's a young man. You don't see that as much in the other.
Well, again, years do pass in every single movie, so.
Oh, speaking of which,
quite a bit in the second one.
Speaking of which,
Good
I
Lord.
was just thinking the same thing.
Jeez.
Jamie Lee Curtis looks like she's
And
aged
hello.
like
Excuse me,
You know
Bella.
the
10 years.
Guys-
and
With that hideous
You
Bella
guys-
wig. Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
you know that she did cut her hair at the time,
Right,
so
yeah.
that's not necessarily. Well,
It was a
actually,
terrible wig. It was very
Yeah.
Bella.
Well, I think it was mostly
From
her
the
fault
Twilight
for.
series, excuse me. What
Actually, for
happened?
once, I think it was her fault for cutting her hair too early.
Well, plus she aged like I don't know 7 years.
yeah.
No,
she
the
did.
movie came out in 1981.
No, but she looks like she had aged like literally. I think it was the wig though. I swear.
I think it was the wig.
Terrible.
It was
The
so
wig is
bad.
terrible.
Sorry about my diverting, but yeah, I think the wig was honestly weird on that one. But yeah, let's go on to the design of the movie. I love the cinematography in that
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Good freaking hell.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
absolutely did a fantastic job with the cinematography on that
Most
one.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember some of the zooming shots, the one takes that they usually did. It was actually very amazing that they managed to pull off some of those. And actually,
There's like a tension in some of the framing. You know, like you can feel it. Like,
Yeah,
it
very
feels,
much so.
It feels
Ominous.
ominous.
Yeah.
they made every single scene with him just work. It is one of those movies where everything was just in place. The town was filled with a whole bunch of Halloween costumes so he could move around more easily.
Right.
And I have to admit, just overall, the ambiance of the film made you feel like this could happen anywhere.
Right.
Even in your own
Uncomfortable.
hometown.
Right. Right.
So I think in a way for it to be setting in a neighborhood like that
Just your everyday, ordinary next door
neighborhood and just absolutely see a whole bunch of murders happen. Yeah, that would terrify
jarring.
anyone.
Yeah, that's brutal. It's jarring.
I don't think I'd be out trick-or-treating, I can tell you that.
Yeah, where Jason Voorhees always did his kills mainly at a campground, mainly Camp Crystal Lake.
So never go camping.
Yeah.
Noted.
Or in Jaws, mainly kills from
Never
the
go
ocean.
in the ocean. Right.
Or some random bird attacking the birds, even though I do.
That's true. I mean, that's hard to avoid.
But yeah, with but here's the thing I love about. And here's what I love about Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. Halloween is set in a neighborhood that anybody could live in.
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street, you could die in your sleep, which is an actual medical thing that happens.
Right.
People have died in their sleep and have been scared to death.
I think that things that actually could happen is actually the
more frightening.
The more frightening.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly the reason why those two are probably the better ones.
Yeah. But yeah, overall though, it is one of those movies that just the design of the movie was just done, everything in its place. Right. Everything was just outright one of the best ones.
Because it's in such a normal neighborhood, everyday neighborhood. There's this sense of calm and like
comfort and
and then for all that jarring, horrifying stuff to happen, it's like it definitely,
it leaves an impact.
It does, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, it also sets an atmosphere where you feel like, which we're gonna go to in a minute. The atmosphere of the movie would absolutely just feel not even close if it wasn't set in that town of Haddonfield.
Right.
Which, good lord, that's an iconic location at that point. You just can't forget it. Because it looks like a normal.
You don't need a lot of props or.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to go to any specific location or anything else. You could just be in a small town, and it can happen at any point.
It feels more believable too when you're on a practical set.
So, what would you guys give the design of the movie?
I think I'm gonna give it a 10. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I will give it. I'll give it a 10 too.
All right. Actually, another thing I also like, the Halloween mask, the William Shatner mask.
Because the Mariah Carey, did you see that meme?
Yeah,
well, actually,
that's so mean.
You want to know the strange thing? You want to know the strange thing is that in that particular that mask was used in both the first and second Halloween movies. It was never used in any of the sequels afterwards.
Okay. The same one, the very same, you mean?
Yeah, the mask is pretty much
terrible?
No, it's. I swear to God, I'm gonna slap
you. It was there. I had to take it.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, there's a lot of the masks that they use afterwards were awkward and sometimes stupid looking. One of them actually made him look like an alien. But
the mask was
luckily not, and actually that's actually kind of the reason why I like the Rob Zombie remakes as well as the new 2018 movie.
Because it showed it pretty close to being what
it looks like the original, but looks like it's been through hell.
Yeah.
So they did a fantastic job on the masks on those ones. But yeah, the other sequels after 2, they just could not get the mask right.
Right.
Even Halloween H2O or Halloween 20th Anniversary, for as much as I love that movie, the mask was actually computer generated at some points.
Yeah. It looks a little weird.
Yeah. All right.
Just weird.
And now we're gonna go into atmosphere. Good freaking hell, the atmosphere in this movie.
Excellent. 10. It's excellent.
Good
Lord.
Solid
10.
Solid 10 all the way.
So it's again, it's just the way they set it up. It's like everyday, normal, beautiful, peaceful little environment.
Yeah.
Gets slammed with terror.
Yep.
They did that really well.
I have to admit, for as much as I give credit to other movies for having some decent atmosphere and all that, this one really set the tone.
It does, yeah.
And good God, does it just absolutely surprise people with just the complete amount of dread that this could happen in your own home.
Right.
This could happen in your hometown. Just place you're familiar with, and this guy could just waltz right into your home and kill you.
Right.
It gives you that sense of horrifying realism.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, the whole thriller angle was created by Halloween, so in a way, you would have to thank that movie for it.
Right.
So, now that I've tallied all the scores for the first Halloween movie, which I'm going to write down Halloween 2 right now, here are the scores. You gave it a 49. Well, you matched your score.
No way. Right on.
Yep, you gave it a 49. Your score was 48. You
I
scored
went
now
over.
49.
Right.
So, near perfect movie in your eyes. I gave it a 45,
Hi, baby.
and I now gave it a 48.
Mm.
So, yeah, pretty much high scores all around, even
Yeah.
some improvements. So,
Right.
shows you the movie is better than what most people give it credit for. I
Right.
still love Halloween. It is one of those movies that just...
Absolute favorites.
Oh, you know that scene? Okay, so when he first kills the sister, when he kills Judith, I mean that was a really lame kill scene. That she was a terrible actress. But the little Michael, you know, when they pull back from that scene, it's like a Jaws moment where they sort of pause everything and pull back. That was really like, I feel that's so iconic because he's such a beautiful, angelic little baby, you know, little baby boy standing there, and it was really ominous because he's like holding the bloody knife, and there was a lot of really iconic shots in the movie.
Yeah, there
you know.
was.
True enough. And as much as as much as the movie had ever done, it was one of those movies that set the standard for how movies would be nowadays.
Right.
Because, good lord, I've seen a lot of movies in my time that just absolutely shows just how powerful a game like that could be.
Right.
It's one of those moments.
It is.
So, now we're going to go on to Halloween 2. The sequel that honestly surprised a lot of people for how good it was.
Right.
Yeah.
It does feel like, I mean, aside from how everyone looks aged a couple of years and that terrible
Right.
Bella wig, it's cohesive with the story.
True.
It's like it just keeps going. It handled
Yeah.
that really well.
And technically, to them, that was supposed to be the end of Michael Myers.
Which makes sense. It makes sense.
So, for him to suddenly come back in the other sequels, yeah. Also, they did get everybody to return for the sequel, which honestly
Right.
I thought was
That
really
was
good.
great.
Really smart idea.
Absolutely. I loved seeing
Hi,
Jimmy. He's he's Sheriff Brody's youngest son, Michael, in the Jaws movies.
Mm-hmm.
In the fourth one. Yeah.
Mhm.
I loved seeing him. What's that guy's name? Oh, I can't remember. There was a lot of cameos. It was cool because everybody had like a respect for the.
Yeah.
the-
First
I think it was
Halloween.
horrifying though when that Ben Trainer or whatever.
Oh,
Ben Tramer.
He
Tramer.
got.
We'll talk about that in a moment because
Oh,
I
that was
actually,
so upsetting.
I actually
Yeah.
want to talk about that. That's my favorite moment in the movie.
Oh, you're dark. You're dark. Baby, come here.
I literally watched a scene where someone was being dragged into their bed and then a geyser of blood came out and I was laughing.
You're
Yeah, I'm a
horror
sick
fan.
psycho.
You're,
I'm kidding.
you're a horror fan.
What would you guys give this overall score for this movie right now, if you were to guess?
For the second one?
Yeah.
45.
43.
I give it a 48
Okay.
because I actually do like this movie more than the original in some ways.
Right.
I don't, but I do like
Alright.
it, but I don't. Not as.
All right, let's start off with story. I like how it continues off from the original.
Right.
That is what you're supposed to do with a sequel, and it works out in a way.
pulled out.
Yeah, they did.
Not to mention, I like how, and yes, I know a lot of people do have gripes with Laurie Strode being in the hospital, mainly almost catatonic most of the movie. But again, if you're literally seeing all this horrifying shit happen to you, and then would you really be okay after that?
Right.
No, you wouldn't. So
it makes
it's kind of
sense.
realistic for her to literally be in this state, especially when you saw her at the beginning. She was in a total panic state.
Right.
And they had to use drugs just to calm her down.
Right. It's cohesive for the story. It's realistic.
So I got to admit that is kind of an interesting call there, and I actually really
The
do
whole
like
thing
it.
with them blowing up the.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
That bugs the crap out of me. Anyway, go on.
again, I love that they brought back a lot of the original characters.
Yeah.
This also introduced the story that Laurie Strode is his sister.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
So, that's understandable. And actually, I found out recently that in Halloween 4, Laurie Strode's dead.
Oh.
And that's the reason why you don't see her in 4 and 5. So, her cousin is the one who takes over the starring role. She comes back in another timeline, which is one that takes place after Halloween 2, where it is Halloween H2O, the 20th
I was gonna
anniversary.
say she comes back because
Yeah,
she's in
20th
the-
anniversary
she's
is
in the
when
one
they
where
started
she's
the
a
time.
college
Yeah,
professor. or
yeah.
whatever.
The 20th anniversary one started the timeline where Laurie Strode was alive, which goes on to Resurrection.
Right.
Then there's the Rob Zombie timeline.
There's no
Then there's
concept
the
of time
2018
whatsoever.
timeline where the new Halloween 2018 gets rid of all the other movies except for the first.
Makes me wonder what these next two are gonna be like.
Right.
It sounds like, well,
Could be
judging from
anything.
you, it's a good chance that they may be continuing from the success of the most recent film. So it's most likely a sequel to that movie, which again would be a really good idea because I love that movie. It's fantastic.
The Rob Zombie.
No, I'm talking about the new one.
With Lori.
Oh yeah.
Laurie and her daughter and granddaughter.
Right. Oh yeah, that was an excellent.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, I think that's pretty freaking cool.
I was confused by the whole Sam Hain. Like.
Oh,
what,
yeah,
They just
yeah.
threw that in. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? That was absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know that the cop that he was the two cops that were watching the house, one of them was the costume designer, and he
Oh, I
won an
haven't.
Academy Award for Suicide Squad,
Oh wow.
and the other is an actual detective
Oh,
in
neat.
the police department.
That's cool.
So
Wow.
he actually got him, and he was a consultant. So he actually got himself a role
Little
in the
cameo.
movie.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually
That's
got, and
too
they
cool.
actually are genuinely funny and awesome. So it's
They
pretty
were.
cool.
They were. I liked them.
When it comes down to the story, though, for Halloween 2, I just love that they literally continued everything from
From the night.
Yeah,
the
no, I
very
agree.
night that she got attacked all
and
the
they,
way to the
and they
ending.
recap from the end of
Yeah.
the
First movie
First
and then
movie,
the
yeah.
second, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Correcting the gunshot issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, especially, I also love that they made Donald Pleasance, or, Dr. Loomis,
Right.
more insane than before because
I
he
know.
knows he's out there now.
He goes like he's totally losing it, and everybody's like, "Dude, you've lost it." But he's like,
No,
"You're
in
not
Halloween 2,
listening," you know?
in Halloween 2, they know Michael's a danger, but
Right.
at the same time, they're thinking, dude, calm down.
Right. Just put the
But-
gun away, sir.
Yeah, but for what is heck, he almost shot an innocent person just because
Right.
he was wearing a Michael Myers costume. What are the odds of that?
I know. Oh,
And then he gets-
man.
Oh yeah, again,
Oh,
favorite part of the
Ben.
movie: literally getting hit by a police car, run into a truck, and watching it explode, and him being set on fire.
So it's crazy that the guy that they assume is Michael, Ben Tramer, is the dude that Lori has a crush on in the first movie that Annie calls and tells, rats on him to her.
right.
And they have arranged for them to go to the homecoming dance together.
Right.
So that was like, oh my god, no
I know,
way,
yeah,
that's
that was
horrible.
weird. Right.
No sympathy, man. Look at you.
Oh come on!
That was
funny
a hell
be-
of a plot twist. That was like, no way.
For me, that was
totally
funny
shocked us.
because, good lord,
the
they
luck,
should have
the
known.
luck. The
First of
rocky
all,
luck.
if you look at the mask, he has blonde hair, not brown.
Right.
That's one. Two, the dude was shorter
But
than Michael
Loomis-
Myers.
He was walking
Loomis,
just like
yes.
him. He had that.
And
down,
Loomis was
like
so
that whole
in a-
zombie.
in
Hey, he had a
Crazed
trick or
state.
Hold on.
Crazed straight. He wanted
Trick
to
or
stay with
treat
the
bag.
guy. That's
Michael
true.
Myers has a freaking knife.
Right.
True.
Good
true.
lord. You
But
cops
like I
are
said-
morons.
But like I said, though, Loomis was like
He was
outside his
crazed.
mind.
He
yeah.
was. He just
Yeah,
wanted to
he
stop
had an
him.
excuse though.
Right.
He had an
he
excuse.
knows what
The
he's
cops
capable of.
didn't have an
No,
excuse.
they didn't.
True.
They were totally.
This
incompetent.
actually started the trope of the dumbass cops.
That's true. Well, they were kind of dumb in the first, just a little
They
bit.
trust me, they're worse than
They're
5.
pretty stupid throughout the whole.
Actually, no, they're worse than 5.
Are they?
Yeah, it actually takes a group of civilians to try to kill off Michael.
Oh well.
So
There's a
yeah.
whole lot we could say about that, but we should probably.
So yeah, in this particular case, if you want to know about the dumbass cops in horror movies, thank Halloween.
Right.
Because you can't trust cops.
Right.
unless you're in Scream or in the new Halloween.
Right.
Because even the new Halloween, they're smart enough to know that they gotta make sure to keep the others safe and you to be prepared. But still, even they can get caught off, get surprised every once in a while.
Right.
It just depends, because remember, he is stealthy.
He is. Mm-hmm. It's very stealthy.
But, yeah, for the story, though, it is possible. I actually do like this story more than Halloween 1, in my personal opinion.
Well, it gives you more of a backstory. It explains stuff more.
It explains some stuff. I also do love the plot twist that Laurie is his sister. I do think that was actually a genuine surprise.
Yep.
When I first watched it, I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold on. What did you just say?
Oh, enlightenment.
No, I kind of
like-
I suspected it.
Right.
In
That
the
they were
first
going to
one.
do that in the first one?
I suspected that was his sister.
Yeah, and
the
surprisingly,
first
though,
one,
in the remake,
I mean, there
they
was no
completely
guarantees,
cut
but
that
I
off.
suspected it. Yeah.
So he's no longer a sister
It
in
makes
the remake.
sense, though, because he does have, like, this obsession with her, so, you know.
True, but at the same time, if you think about it, that obsession could also be the fact that she's the only one that ever got away.
True. That's true.
Good point.
Because if you think about it, in Halloween Resurrection, where she's already dead by the start of the movie, he literally goes after a bunch of random people.
Right.
So it almost kind of makes you think that maybe it's because she's the one that got away
Right.
that he became so obsessed.
Yeah.
So
And her connection to the house.
the very house
selling it, real
that
estate.
yeah.
I take issue with the Sam Hain, the little blip of that. I was like, that was
Yeah.
unnecessary
Yeah.
and made no sense whatsoever to
It
the
was,
plot.
it was completely unnecessary.
He stabs that nurse with the little tiny scalpel and lifts her up off the ground with it, and that's how she's just dead from that tiny little wound.
You have to admit that's actually kind of cool, though. That
was
it shows
fun.
that almost like a
He's
unnatural thing about it.
Superhero,
Like superhuman.
supernatural
strength.
Superhuman, yeah, that's what I
I
meant.
thought it was kind of silly, but that.
But you have to admit it was fun, though.
And what happened to Jimmy, our beloved Jimmy? We like.
Yeah.
Oh
him
yeah,
so
he's
much.
dead.
How though? Because he was just unconscious. The last we see him, he's
First
unconscious
he
in
falls
the car.
and he hits his head.
That was so lame, Jimmy. Really.
And
But
then
anyway.
he goes
Hold on.
unconscious in
If
the car.
you're gonna say that's lame, it's nothing compared to it in
It
Carrie.
doesn't show when he actually dies.
Technically, according to the fan base, he is dead.
That's not fair.
It doesn't matter though. According to the actual movie,
We don't know honestly in the
No.
movie if he's dead or
Because
alive.
he's left
Right.
But
in
here's the
that
thing-
beautiful car.
Yes.
Let's just
Yeah, but
count
here's the
that.
thing though, he never shows up in any of the sequels.
Yeah, but,
yeah, but
maybe
that doesn't
he
mean
just-
he's dead.
Yeah, he's got to go to that Caribbean island with his dad.
I'm guessing it won't last long then.
You know?
But yeah, if you think that death is dead, pretty lame, then you're gonna really hate Carrie since the guy that she takes her out to the dance to gets hit with a bucket that lands on his head and dies.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That one was
goofy.
pretty stupid.
That was pretty goofy.
Because for me, if I got hit with a bucket like that, I would have had a headache, but I would have been fine.
It didn't show that he.
No, they confirmed, including Stephen King,
No, he is
he's dead.
Yeah, I
Really?
remember that.
Yes!
Because I thought it was.
He is
the
confirmed to
dumbest
be
way
freaking
die.
dead.
Wow.
It's pretty.
I'm
embarrassing.
like, I could survive that. I'm gonna have a headache later, but at least I'll be fine.
Maybe
good lord.
Maybe he
But
had,
it was
like,
full of-
soft,
but it
like,
was
bone
full
or
of-
something.
No, it was empty. They poured all the blood out of it and
Oh,
onto
that's
Carrie.
right. Then it fell. Right,
So he
right.
should have been out cold, but he would have been fine. Unless maybe he had some sort of brain aneurysm when he got hit with that.
Let's fill that
But
in
yet, there was no
He
indication
had
in the movie
an
that it
underlying
was...
medical condition that no one was aware of.
Exactly, but why didn't they ever reference that? At all. In the
He's
book
not
or in the
important
movie.
enough. He's not important enough.
He's the guy who literally brings her to prom,
I
for God's
know.
sake.
I have no excuse.
Anyway,
I'm
guys,
just trying to-
honestly, though, yeah, let's just... Alright,
Moving on.
I'm sorry for diverting, but God bless it. When she mentioned that person dying, being lame, then I had to bring up one of the worst deaths of all time.
There's so many examples we can go from.
Oh,
I
dear
like
Lord.
the part when Lori falls out of Jimmy's beautiful car, and she's trying to yell "Help me" to Dr. Loomis as he goes into the hospital. That was
Right.
like Scream references that really hardcore with Drew,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was so cool to see. It's like, oh, that's where it's from.
Yeah.
That is
so-
cool,
that's
but
disturbing. though.
ridiculous at the same
But she
time.
was like, she couldn't scream because she's like totally like.
The
you
drugs
know,
are still
beat
affecting
up
her.
and traumatized.
Well, I know, but
and-
she ran out of the hospital. She managed to stay on her feet and ran out of the
Well, I
hospital.
know.
And
I
all
mean,
of a sudden, she's
can't
like
scream.
incapacitated. she falls out of the car and then she can't scream.
It was a traumatic experience.
Okay.
Puginator. Okay, have a little sympathy.
And you call me heartless.
I would have been like up and rocking it.
Been like, yo!
Yeah, no, I would have been rocking it.
Dude.
No.
So what would you guys rate the story?
I think I'm gonna give it a 9. I liked it. I'm taking a number. I'm gonna
do an 8.
I'm taking 1 off for the Sam Hain. That was stupid.
That was dumb.
I gotta give it a 10. I actually love it.
I have to take that off, and I have to take it off for the. I wasn't real thrilled with
What
that
happened
whole
to Jimmy? Huh?
Oh, that too.
What happened to Jimmy?
Yes.
All right.
Come on.
Now we're gonna go on to characters. Good Lord, I'm so grateful they got a lot of the characters back.
That was cool.
Laurie, Michael, Dr. Loomis, so thankful they're back. But including, of course, the assistant that was with Dr. Loomis. Glad that she did return as well.
Right.
You're
And-
talking about the psychiatrist assistant?
The-
gal?
Yeah, her.
Oh,
She's been
okay.
in almost every Halloween movie except
What
for 3.
was she in the first one? I don't remember her. in
She
the
was
first
with
one.
him. Her car was stolen, remember?
Oh, that's right. I didn't know that was the same.
Yeah, that was
gal.
her.
Oh my
She
god.
looks
She's
so
the
much
same
better with
actress.
Well, and she looks more put together. Like
In
she's
the second movie.
in the
Yeah, but
second
here's the
one.
thing. She's the same actress in almost every Halloween movie
That's
involving
cool.
Michael until
That's good.
20.
Cool.
Halloween 20.
Yeah, I like all the characters, and I like Jimmy. The only one I did not like
Was Jimmy's
was
one
that
of his partners?
cheesy, dark-haired guy.
The pervert, dirty
Oh,
Yes.
guy.
You want to know the crazy thing is though? I am so pissed they got rid of the sheriff
Oh yeah, that.
and they had to
was
replace him with the deputy.
right.
But again, the deputies played very well.
He
So
did.
he actually does make up for his loss.
He does. He does.
And in a way, I guess he would be completely traumatized with his daughter dying and seeing the dead body right there.
Right.
So
That's heavy.
yeah, I would think he would just. Heck, if I was the father of that girl, I would have been pretty much traumatized.
Right. Right.
So yeah, for
I'd
him to
give it a
choose
10.
have the deputy to go for it, I would just say yeah.
On what?
On characters.
I'll give it a 9.
You're gonna give it a 9? I'm gonna give it a 10, myself,
I'm giving
because
it a 10 because I really hated that other ambulance driver guy. I mean, I just found
Oh.
him revolting.
yeah.
Yeah, but
It's,
you're giving it a 10, and you're not even taking.
Because he really acted well. That was a really good character portrayal. Because I was just like, oh, that guy.
That's true.
I
It
hope
did
he
make
gets
us
killed
detest
so
him.
hard.
Detest him. True.
Yeah.
did
So
really well with
honestly,
that.
yeah, if you heard that, that's my cat literally going up the
Tasmania.
tower. But yeah, the characters were done very well there, and of
Yeah.
course we gotta go into music. Again, John Carpenter, seriously, dude.
Oh, they
There was
what-
did?
a little update.
Yes, there was a little update.
They
updated
updated
in
the music, and good God, does it still rock?
It did. It was
Yeah.
cool. It had sort of a, was it a disco?
It was actually more of a
It's
synthetic
jivey.
sound,
Yeah,
Jivey
synthetic
kinda,
sound.
yeah.
and I like the synthetic sound mixed in with the
The
Halloween
8-bit
theme.
kind of
Yeah,
vibe
yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well
I'd
done.
give
for
it a
that.
10
Yeah.
for the music.
Yeah, 10 is just
But
yeah.
I like that they
This is a
stayed
quick
true
one
to it,
because
but they
it's-
gave it just a little bit of an update to
Yeah.
like make it exciting.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
at the same time, still feel Halloween.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Still
well
the same
done on
vibe.
that one, guys. Seriously, fantastic job.
And I think they played. Did they play Blue Oyster Cult in one of the cards?
I think so.
I love that they do that. That's awesome.
All right, and next, of course, we're going to talk about the design. Again, they got the same cinematographer. They got the same crew from the last movie. I am so grateful they brought them back for the sequel. And good Lord, it is fantastic.
Okay. No, I like it. I like the. You can still. It still looks like it's the same. What do you call it? Same town. Like
Yeah.
The same vicinity. Like it still has that same.
I also like how they use the hospital.
They did. That was interesting. The whole what is that like the sauna room? You
Yeah.
know, where the two buy it. That was an interesting set. I thought they did that really well. It was very
Yeah.
believable that you're in a hospital and they would have this rehabilitation section. And,
I also love how he kills.
yeah, that was
Using
really
the freaking hot water of that.
that was nasty.
Yes. As you
That
guys
was
can tell,
gnarly.
I love the practical effects and the gore. Good.
It was good.
Yeah,
And
if
he
I'm
doesn't-
gonna
and they don't
look
go
at
overboard with it, you know.
true, if I'm gonna go with gore, this one definitely is a lot gorier than the original.
It is. It's
However,
much gorier.
I'm willing to say that honestly, and you guys know me, I don't like gore when it comes to CG.
Right.
For me, if you want to get me invested, make it practical. Because
Absolutely.
good Lord, the practical effects in the Halloween movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Jason for Friday the 13th and all that, all of it practical effects, and all of them were effective.
They were epic.
Nowadays,
they were epic.
Nowadays, there's just too much going on with that.
It's not believable if it looks like it's computer. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's not remotely scary. In fact, it's kind of goofy and embarrassing.
Okay, check something here. But yeah, honestly, for what it's worth, it's kind of interesting to see that most movies nowadays are going too much on the CG route.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that movies like the new Banana Splits movie, which
What's
is a
that?
horror movie where they took the banana splits from the TV show by Hanna-Barbera
Oh my
and
God.
made them into animatronics that would kill people.
Oh, that's disturbing.
And you want to know the strange thing is, it originally was supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie by Paramount.
Oh, that's wild. Oh, we
Yep.
have to see that. Oh, watch
Yeah,
that.
I'm like thinking
I'm
about
totally
yeah.
gonna watch that with you.
Yeah, I actually, and I'm gonna let you guys know this. I did watch the Banana Splits. I actually watched it with my dad years ago, and yeah, those
That
things are
would be
creepy as hell.
disturbing. Yeah, that would
But
be
strange
disturbing.
enough, the guy who voices those three characters is the same guy who voices all the Looney Tunes characters now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, seriously, this
That's
dude.
disturbing.
Because he actually does a lot of good voice acting work, and the dude is fantastic.
Right.
And all the people that are in those costumes, they're actually dancers instead of actors or stunt
Okay.
people.
That's
so I'm
wild.
like, because they can mimic the robotic movements a lot.
Right.
I still recommend watching the movie. It's actually pretty good. The gore is fantastic, all practical.
I like that they're in the second Halloween that there's with the gore it's sort of selective. It's not like overkill so you're desensitized to it.
True.
It's just enough and just shocking enough that you're like, whoa, that really got me when he melted her face off. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
that was one of my favorite actual spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Good
kind
lord.
of creepy.
Good lord.
Sure.
The kills in the movies were good.
They were
Not
And
only
yes,
did she drowned, but she got her face melted
Off.
yeah, it's
Damn.
absolutely terrifying, and I love it.
See, that's it. I take issue with the Rob Zombie movie only because he's so gratuitous that it doesn't really faze you.
Yeah, but here's the
Whereas-
thing: it's all practical.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's still
strange.
disturbing.
You would
I'm
think
just
someone
saying
like
that it's not as
you would think
shocking because you expect it to be.
yeah,
there,
you would think
know?
that he would have gone full on CG like he did in the Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell. But the
Well-
only reason why he did that was because of budget constraints and
The
everything.
first
Right.
half hour,
Where,
45 minutes of it, though, is totally Rob Zombie-ish.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. The dysfunction and the...
Revolting.
Oh yeah, of course.
God.
That,
Vulgarity.
but,
oh my god, yeah.
but yeah, with Halloween 2, I actually watched both the remake and the original Halloween 2. I actually do like both. And the reason why I like the Rob Zombie one as well is because it deals with Laurie Strode's psychological issues. You could tell that she's been scarred by what she went through and how completely messed up in the head she is.
Right.
She really isn't in her right mind anymore.
right.
And she looks
She's
like someone...
traumatized.
She looks like
traumatized.
someone who has post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
For
She did a
that
great
one.
job,
So,
despite the terrible.
and here's the thing. You want to know the strange thing is, Malik, his Mustafa Khan's son, he asked him that when he made Halloween 2, make it the way you want it. And Rob Zombie wanted to do more of a psychological analysis on how Laurie's coping with it.
Right.
Where in the theatrical version makes her almost seem like a survivor. The other one makes her look like a post-traumatic stress disorder.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Where in the second movie, you could definitely tell she was, again, the survivor. But I think in a way, you could still tell the traumatic moments hit her hard.
Right.
Especially losing her friends and her family as
yeah.
well. So,
Yeah. I like.
But-
we didn't say it, but that last line was at the boogeyman. That's so. I love
technically,
that
that's another nickname for him. But he was originally nicknamed was The Shape by Dr. Loomis.
Yes, yes.
Also, yeah, but the design work on I love the hospital.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff there. The kills, even though are a little bit more graphic than the original, but you have to admit they did a fantastic
They
job for giving you the scare
Except
factor.
for that blowing up of the hospital thing. That's so unrealistic.
What, blowing
There's-
up the hospital?
Yes, there's
When Dr.
babies
Loomis
there.
blows up-
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that,
there's
yeah.
But it's
babies
just
in
a
there.
section of the hospital. It's
But
not
Yes.
still, that's No.
He's not thinking though. He's just
He's
trying to
definitely
stop
not
this.
thinking. There's babies in that hospital.
I don't even know
and
if he's
sick
aware
people.
of that though. You know.
Well, it's a hospital,
Yeah,
for
I
God's
know,
sake.
but like he's so focused on stopping Michael that he's got no
To
rationale.
me, that was ridiculous, though. That was probably the
He
worst
just
part
really
for
wanted
me.
to blow something up.
Yeah, I
That's,
don't like it. I didn't
convenient.
like that spot. And I would think that all of those gases combined would have made them high or something,
Right.
and incapacitated,
Oh. Like knocked him out.
Yeah, because that was like a lot of different gases there. They were like switching
It's
valves.
a little
like-
overkill.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
overkill, yes.
The design is epic, though. I like it. I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's totally believable from the second she's wheeled in there that she's in a hospital. You can almost smell like the antiseptic. It's
Yeah.
disturbing.
I
I'm
honestly
gonna give
would
it
They
a
did a really
9.
good job with
give
that.
it a 9 there.
Yeah, that whole blowing up of the hospital.
Really
For me,
bothered me.
I
Really
gotta give it a
bothered
10
me.
because, good lord, the amount of stuff that they did was... It made you feel like you were in the hospital. It made you feel like it was a sequel to this dang movie.
That's true.
Which is very rare for horror movies nowadays.
That's true.
And which is really sad, because look at freaking Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That one completely got rid of all the original cast and just started with a brand new one.
Right, that's annoying.
And it was also considered the gayest horror movie of all time. I'm not even joking about that. They actually called it that. So, yeah, there's also that reason. Because
Right.
they have a lot of gay innuendos, I'm going to say. I'm not saying the movie's bad. It's actually written very good. And the acting is good. And also the main actor for it is another scream queen of his own right. He actually didn't even come out of the closet until after the movie.
Who?
Well,
The
that's a
main
shame.
actor for
You should
Nightmare
be
on Elm
true to
Street 2.
yourself. You should be true to yourself.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the main actor, actually didn't come out of the closet until after the movie.
You mean,
For Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
She wants to know
Oh.
which character.
yeah.
Oh, I don't remember his name, but he's the main character in that movie. He had
He's like
blonde
the-
hair. He was the
Okay.
one that was the older son of the family. And was the one who was
I've not seen
screaming
that
to
one.
high hell.
I don't, it's been so long. I
Yeah,
gotta
you
rewatch it.
got to watch that movie. Which
And it's
actually
number
will,
2 you're talking
yeah,
about?
it's the second
Okay.
movie. With good lord, it's just fantastic work overall though for this movie for design. Now, atmosphere.
Oh, it's good. It's very tense.
Holy
it.
hell, it's possibly even more tense than the original.
Yeah, I liked that. You feel like ugh, the whole
Yeah,
time.
I'd probably give it a 10 on that
That one a 10 on that one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it 2 because
it was
give
pretty
it as well
tense.
because
The
good
first one
god.
was tense too, but it was a different kind of tense.
Yeah,
It's more, less jolty.
right. And
Set
more
number
like
2 was...
you stay consistently tense throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
What's gonna happen?
yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Whereas the other one...
It's like a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more shocker tense.
Right. This one's definitely consistently making you on your edge of your seat
Oh, yeah.
the whole time.
Very much so. All right, here are the scores. Your original score is 43. You gave it a 49. Your score was 45. You gave it a 46. I gave it a 48. I gave it a flat 50.
Wow.
Perfect
We
sequel.
like it. You know, we like it.
Halloween 2, in my personal opinion, is the perfect sequel to a horror movie franchise and is personally one of the most well respected of all the sequels out there.
Right.
Now for 3.
Okay.
Oh, God.
For as much as I know these two hate this movie, I actually think it's fun.
I do not like it at all.
Okay, so we're... so the plot of the third one basically is that this gentleman... Why are all the villains Irish? It's kind of rude and exploitive, but anyway...
Okay, no, that's not entirely true.
It was
in the
ritualistic.
town. So this gentleman whose name I forget, Cochran.
Cochran.
He gets a piece of Stonehenge, right? It's a section of Stonehenge.
Hold on. Before we get to that, what are your scores?
Oh, yeah, let's
you
do that
you
first.
kind of forgot that,
I know because I'm so like what
As you can tell, these two did not like the movie.
35 here.
overall score.
Yeah, overall score 34. Go ahead.
20.
Wow,
Brutal.
I'm pretty generous compared to you.
40.
Oh, God.
I know most people are going to say outright yes, that you seem insane, but trust me, this is a so bad it's good film for me.
Ugh.
Just like Jason X is.
Oh, Lord.
There was so much about the movie that I was just like disturbed about.
I thought we were friends. Can't believe
First
you made
of
me
all-
watch this movie.
First of all,
Okay,
The-
first of
the
all,
main
screw you, the
character-
movie's funny.
the main character, the doctor,
Dr.
Alright,
Chalice.
hold on.
is
Hey,
a total
Guys.
cheater.
Alright, hold on. Yes, the dude's a man whore. Let's just skip that part.
Oh,
Let's get
yay.
straight into the
Slight
story.
innuendo in the name for phallus. Perfect. Anyway.
Go on.
He's basically a man whore. Get over it.
Yeah, right.
Alright, here we go. Start with story. And here's the thing. I am going to be critical about this. But I do love this movie mainly because of just how batshit insane it is.
It is.
6.
Okay.
Dear
Maybe
sweet
a
Jesus
5.
already.
A score?
Alright, so what's the score? What's the score, Pugnator? What is it?
6.
Or 5? What are the two? Which one is it?
5.
5? Okay.
Yeah, because I actually, 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 8. I don't like
For
it.
story.
Yeah, for story. I don't like it. I'm gonna vote as if this is not part of the Halloween franchise, but a standalone movie. How's
Yeah, like
that?
it was supposed to be.
There you go.
I think it was
giving it an
ridiculous,
8.
though. It was so ridiculous.
But it was vastly, wildly original.
That is true.
Well, original maybe, but
Yeah, if you
ridiculous.
think about it, compared
Everything
to all the
about
other
was
movies, it
ridiculous.
is the most original that we've heard.
I mean, it's so much going on. Stonehenge,
Robots.
masks,
No,
Masks.
robots.
And
People literally killing children and their families
Oh my god,
with a
there was
commercial.
just so much going on.
Mr. Cochran, right? So it's implied that his heritage would be Samhain, right? And that there's sort of a witchcraft vibey thing going on, so that he believes in like the ritual sacrifice on Samhain, right? Is it for the gods, for Stonehenge? What?
Apparently.
Okay.
Population
And somehow,
control.
on top
I mean,
of, like
If you want
creating-
population control, go to Purge.
right? Amen.
I'm sorry I had to do that. I had to make that
Amen.
joke.
Those are great.
Well, the first one sucks. The sequels
They
are
were
amazing
good.
afterwards.
They were good, yeah. So basically, not only has he created a mask that can manifest snakes, crickets, and dear God, potato bugs. Why? Ew. And can melt your face, but he's also created an entire very
Robots.
boring white man robot army, right? That can
From all the people that he
you with
killed.
superhuman robot strength thing, right? So there's
Pluck
a
your
lot
eyeballs.
going
Yes,
on
a
there.
lot going
There's
on.
a lot of complex.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7, but mainly because it is an original story and that's what it was supposed to be. It was never meant to be a
supposed to be,
sequel to
okay.
Halloween 2 or
Okay.
1, so
That's how I'm gonna go about it because
So, yeah.
it's supposed to be a third. What?
yeah, technically it was
Yeah.
supposed to be an anthology series
And
with
they blew
Halloween
it.
numbers
I'm
being
still-
with all of it.
Spectacular.
I'm still rating it as its own entity, but I still think it sucks.
And not to mention, I'm gonna say this outright, it is not the worst Halloween film of all time.
Oh, no.
It's not the worst.
That's
And this
very
is from me,
disheartening.
who watched the
Oh,
entire
no.
franchise from beginning to end.
I think it's the worst.
Mom is. I'm just gonna. Yeah, you already know from the last episode. But yeah, you have not seen Halloween 5!
I'm sure I did.
No, you have not!
How do
Because
you
if
know?
you see Halloween 5, you would be saying you would be wanting to kill yourself.
I don't know about that, but I will. Now I'm going to go watch it
Oh
because
no.
Yeah, the
Now I
cops
have
in that
to.
movie,
Oh, no.
every time they walk, you hear clown shoe noises and clown
oh,
horns.
that's right. You told me that.
Yeah, that's just one of the stupid
Oh,
things.
but
And then, of
that's-
course, it's a cult. That's another. 3.
You have more issue
The
with
cousin-
that movie
hold on.
than number 3 of
Yes,
Halloween?
also, here.
Are you serious,
Hold on.
man?
Here, in the third thing, Laurie's cousin in that one, who was the main heroine in the first movie, she actually gets pregnant by Michael Myers and has a child from him.
Wow, ew.
Okay, we got to watch it. This sounds
Oh,
wildly
man.
crazy.
Also, Paul Rudd is in the movie.
I
He
love
sucked.
Paul
Rudd.
He
Oh,
sucks.
Oh, is
I
bad.
love him.
He's
though.
shit. One of the worst actors in the movie.
He got better as time went
No,
on.
I'm talking about just the movie. He
The
sucks
character in
outright.
the movie.
Horrible writing.
Oh.
One of the worst
Well, it's
written
not his
scripts in the
fault.
movie.
Okay, well we gotta watch it now.
Oh,
'cause I'm
fine.
really-
Sorry about the
Oh,
range,
Lord.
people, but God bless it. I hate that movie to death, and I am willing to even stand freaking Rob Zombie or any other movies in the franchise, even Resurrection, more than that one. And that one had that stupid rapper who literally said, "Trick or treat, motherfucker."
That's a classic line.
No, it's not. It's a bunch of bullshit. As you can tell, I hate the movie. Now you know.
Okay.
And Resurrection, second worst.
So story for Halloween 3.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stick with a 7 though.
So can I ask, when Cochran, spoiler alert,
Do you really want to think that it should really be a spoiler alert since
Alright,
it's
you're
not
right.
worth it?
Nobody's gonna watch it. Okay, so when he gets killed, is it by the stone? It's literally like, is it there?
It's by the
God?
powers that it's basically the stone, yeah.
So
Basically,
okay, so
it
he
turns him
lights
into
to
basically
death.
paper mache and then disappears.
And then he atomizes
Again.
by light.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
Again,
I'm just trying to
It's
clarify,
supposed to
'cause what
be.
I saw and what I
Okay.
understand, not
Alright.
the same. All right.
it wasn't taking itself that seriously. If it was, then good
Well,
lord.
clearly no.
Alright. Characters.
Again.
Dr. Phallus is such a pig and such
Why
an
not
ass.
just call him Dr. Manwhore? It
He's-
makes more sense that
He
way.
is what he is. Every vagina this man encounters, he's got to get a piece of. It's not endearing. And
I know.
then the girl, whose name I can't even remember, Beth? Ruby? Sheila? Beth? We'll call her Beth. She's all like, hey, Mr. Phallus, Dr. Phallus, whom I've known for like 3 minutes. You want to come with me to go like several hours away to go investigate the suspicious death of my father in this creepy little town, and don't get a hotel room on your own because we are totally going to get busy. What was your name again?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
And of
And
course,
you know that technically in the movie she's a teenager, right?
Ew!
and I'm not, and he's not. We never. He never.
No.
He never wears a wedding ring.
No, he's a pig.
He's a pig.
Dude's a pig.
Yeah.
Dr. Phallus is a pig.
Alright,
seeing him.
aside from
He's
him,
Rick from the
Guys.
original Fog. The
I
Fog.
am sad though.
this is what
But in
happens
the
when you
end,
literally
she-
bring this character up.
She turns into.
a robot.
Yeah, I
That
was
was
sad.
sad. That
I was
sad.
pretty sad about that.
Okay. Now that we're done talking about that asshole, let's just continue with the rest of the cast.
atrocious jingle. Oh.
Hold on, we'll
Okay.
talk about that in a
Sorry,
I
moment.
don't like the jingle either.
It
Let's
was
just-
interesting seeing the original Halloween playing on the TV. It was a trailer
That was
in the
pretty
background.
cool.
That was fun.
A reference to their
That
movie.
was fun. That also indicates straight away, yes, we are not a part of the Halloween,
Yeah.
the sequence of events.
Basically, yeah.
We're in the same
Yeah,
universe.
so the complaint you
not
made
the
is
same
technically
planet.
null and void when they literally reference their own movie.
Right.
It's just something that just
I
happens to
think
be a
people
movie in that
maybe
universe.
assumed, though, that it was going to be like a, what's
Yeah, from the title you would
third
think.
quote? Is that how you say it?
Trilogy.
A trilogy. A third
But
quote.
yeah, in this case,
A
yeah.
trilogy, yes.
Yeah, in this case, I think they should have chosen a different title.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I can see why they chose Halloween 3 because if it's an anthology, then wouldn't you want to have it make sure that everyone knows it as the Halloween anthology?
Yeah.
So
I
I
want
guess
it
in
clear.
some ways, I guess I can understand it working, but if it would have worked, is if they completely just got rid of Halloween 2.
But then they would have gotten rid
I
of
know,
Halloween
but
too.
I know, but here's the thing though. If they would have done that, then it could have been an anthology series, and then they could have made sequels afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, on its own.
Or they could
Yeah.
have just not made this atrocious movie at all. And we could have
Again,
moved forward.
another good option, but still, like I'm saying, if they wanted to keep the anthology story going,
Right.
they should have just done that.
They should have, yes. I
But-
liked the town of Santa Mira. We googled
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was fun. So
That's
it's
in
in a whole
Northern
bunch of-
California, up
Right.
towards Eureka.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
We actually
that
drove
was-
by there a few times. Honestly, though, the characters, for as much as yes, I do agree, the dude is a total man whore. The rest of the cast,
He's from The Fog. Isn't he Rick in the original
Yes.
The Fog?
he's a pretty
That
good
was
actor,
fun.
though.
It was
He's a
really
pretty good.
exciting to see him, but
Here's the
then he
thing.
was a twat.
Here's the thing, though. He's a good actor.
He is.
Just in this
He
movie,
makes
he
you
definitely.
really despise him. So
Yes.
he's
He's
a
a
very good actor.
He's a good actor. I just don't like him as a person.
Also,
I don't
some
like.
of the other cast members are good too. Like the family themselves is pretty
Oh,
nice.
that little family that
Yeah.
buys it in the test room.
Yeah.
I found them to
They're
be the
nice.
most endearing character. Not the dad, but the mom and the son were the most endearing out of the entire.
They're
I
okay.
don't like any of the actors.
No, because the little boy, he's a little Boy,
except
his
for the
face
main.
melts. That was sad.
Yes,
And
I like the doctor
The mom
as his.
faints.
I like the doctor for his acting. That's it,
Right.
and maybe the girl a little bit.
yeah,
But the rest of the actors,
there's
no,
few
I didn't
people
like
that
it.
are endearing. There's not. There's
Well,
like
and there's all robots, so it's like.
the same vanilla
Yeah.
white man.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if we and you actually brought this up earlier in the review that that in that movie there's actually a black guy who actually does survive in the movie
Yeah.
in the
I
end.
Yeah,
like
the
him.
tow truck
What is
driver.
his name?
No, he's the gas station attendant.
But he also drove a tow truck.
Yep. And so basically, yeah, he lives in the story.
Yeah, he's cool. He's funny.
Mhm, mhm.
He's a nice guy. We're
So,
glad he survived. He's my favorite character.
all right. So,
Well,
out
and
of,
you know what? He's a final guy.
He's a final
because
guy.
he was like, oh yeah, totally. This is what you do. You help people out. Remember
right.
when he
Oh,
said
that's
that?
true. Yeah, that's true.
so in this case, what would you guys rate it?
For character,
Yeah.
ooh, 2.
Jesus Christ, sake, that's low.
Yeah, there's so little character development. The only thing you know and understand straight out the gate is that Dr. Chalice is a jerk,
Yeah, I'd say 4 for me.
4.
and that maybe
I
the
think-
girl whose name eludes me. 'Cause
I'm
they've
actually
said
going to
it,
be
like,
a little
twice.
bit better than you guys. I'm going to give it a 5 because the characters are average.
Average.
Average for a horror movie. And I've seen some B movies that are
I
really
know.
bad.
But you know
Yeah,
what? Jason 3 had some pretty terrible
Yes.
character development.
Yeah, so if you think about
Okay,
it that
maybe
way.
a 3. Let me up my score to a 3. There you go.
All right, there you go.
I stick with my 4.
Because trust me, the characters get worse in the Jason movies.
Oh,
the characters
no.
get a little bit better in 4, and I actually wait a minute, no, sorry, 5's not the bad one. 6 is.
Okay.
I just remember they wrong order. I'm sorry.
There's only 75 movies. It's hard. It's easy
Yeah,
to
I'm
get.
sorry. But yeah, so yeah, this is gonna be a 3. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix that. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Fix that number. All right, and now we're gonna go on to music. Okay,
Atrocious.
aside for
For
one,
the love of God.
hold on. Aside from one song, the music was pretty decent.
No.
No, the jingle is so horrible that it made
Yeah.
me want to die.
Yeah.
Like, poke my eyes out.
I'd give it
You
like
know,
a 3.
Oh.
Maybe
And
even
it kept,
a 2.
they kept just, oh.
Oh, it was
You know what,
constant.
though? If we're really trying to rate it properly, they did an excellent job on that jingle because it's the most fucking annoying thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but I still give it a 3. Oh, it's horrifying.
It's really irritating.
It is.
It's so irritating.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a 6 because the level of irritation, like,
Oh, I give it
Actually-
you gotta respect the level of irritation.
Actually-
it
I'll
puts
give it
into
a
you.
3 because of the irritation.
Actually, for me, aside from the jingle, the rest of the soundtrack, which I did hear,
I can't even remember
is
it. Can't
I know I
remember.
remember.
There was too much of the other.
Jingle, jingle,
Yeah.
jingle.
All right, for me, the rest of the soundtrack sounds very similar to John Carpenter's stuff,
Yeah.
except for the jingle. So as far as I
But
can
the
tell,
jingle was so
I'm
prevalent.
willing to give it actually an 8 because
Wow.
the only thing that drops the score is the jingle.
Yeah, but
That's
the
it.
jingle is non-stop throughout the entire movie, it seems like. Oh my goodness.
I
That
know I
was
may sound insane
so
here,
bad.
but here's the thing. I did hear the rest of the soundtrack of this movie. All of it sounds very similar to John Carpenter stuff, which is pretty good. Again, like I said, the only points I'm ever going to deduct from this one is because of the jingle. That's it. So the rest of the soundtrack is still pretty decent. I don't know why you
guess-
guys are hiding so much in that one thing. You can't concentrate
Because-
on the rest of it.
Because it was so prevalent.
annoying.
It was so prevalent throughout the whole movie that I
I can't even remember.
I can't either. I can't remember
Think of
any
it.
of the
I'm
music
sorry.
besides
This is
that
the reason
stupid
why
jingle.
I am the literal analyst of the family
I
here,
know.
because good lord, I pay attention to the damn details.
Okay,
Even more than you, apparently. And
Okay.
you've watched more horror movies than I have.
that's true.
So, yeah, that I consider that like something that's pretty freaking important here.
Okay,
Alright,
we're gonna give you that.
design is next. Okay. The design of
I
the...
thought, it looked very Northern California when they were driving through Santa
That's true.
And
And
we
you
were
know
both
what?
like, "Wow, that looks
That's
like
so-
The
yeah.
location actually looks very similar to what we actually drove through. So,
Yes, yeah.
really good job on that one. Well done.
Well, and I like Northern California, so I'd have to give it a 7 for that because I liked that small coastal town
Yes.
atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
They pulled that up northern.
I miss that
Northern,
one. I miss that area though.
I do
Honestly.
I know,
I
it's
do
so
too.
beautiful. They did
Even
that
though
really
my
well.
allergies would go completely crazy
right.
in California.
You wouldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So
But I do miss
Yeah.
it though.
Are we
These
putting
two
in
know.
practical
These
effects?
two have seen me at my worst with my allergies back then.
Are we voting for practical effects with
Practical
the
effects were
design?
actually pretty
In
decent,
the
especially
design, though, are we combining
Yeah.
those? I thought those were amazing. When Beth, she's a seller from San Francisco, who is annoying, but slightly more endearing than the main characters. When she gets her face light exploded, melted, and the potato bug comes out of her.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Fantastic
was,
job
was
with the
so
practical
disturbing.
the practical
that was so
effects for the
disturbing.
animatronics though, the robots. I thought that was pretty cool
That
too.
was hella Bishop. I thought that was
Yes.
was cool.
That's
I have
why-
respect for that.
Yeah, that's why I gave it a 7, which is probably my highest score out of the whole thing.
I'm gonna give it a
But-
9 because, good
Design.
lord, the practical effects in the movie, other than of course the visual effects like the light show and everything.
Right.
Other than that
The
though,
light
the
show
rest of
was
it's really good.
The
rest of the effects were
the
good.
masks were
And of
pretty-
course that death
that was
scene with
revolting.
also
Yeah.
the death scene with Conklin, completely stupid.
Right.
But like I
Yes.
said,
He died by
Every-
night.
I
Yeah.
think all the light stuff in there was
Was atrocious.
ridiculous.
You would
Yeah.
think that.
Yeah.
I thought I have
It
major.
reminded
actually
me
I'm
of-
gonna drop it to an 8. Actually,
It
I'm gonna
reminded
stick with
me
that.
of something out of Lost in Space or something. You know what I mean? That I love Lost in Space. Don't get me
I was
wrong.
gonna say,
But
well,
what I'm saying,
back up.
just the or not Lost in Space. What's
Jason
that?
X.
No, what's the ones with the slee stack?
Oh, no, that is Lost in Space.
Yes, no, that's exactly right. Though, and I liked Lost in Space as a child,
Right, but it was a little goofy.
but
some
it
of
was really goofy.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about you,
over the
though?
top Goofy.
For design, I'll give it an 8 because of the practical effects.
Yeah, the
Watching
practical
little
effects,
boy
yeah.
melt, his face melt, and all the
Bugs
critters
and
come out.
Yeah, her face
that
melting.
was
Yeah,
hardcore. That was pretty.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
I gotta
That was
admit-
surprising.
yeah. I gotta admit, the practical effects for the movie were actually really good, including the android version of that woman.
Right, and the
I have to
baby
admit,
dude
I
in
really
yellow,
like how it was cool
you
there.
know?
And of course,
Blood.
yes, the
Ooh, and that goo that came out.
The baby doo-doo goo.
Yeah.
Their
And
bishop,
of course-
their bishop blood.
yeah,
You know.
and of course, the kid who dies by the commercial and literally had the bugs spewing out of
That
him.
was
Right.
bad.
Holy hell, that was
That
awesome.
was so icky.
That part
Why
of it,
potato bug?
that
Why?
section of it
Why?
probably
Oh.
is the only thing that I would rate decently on, which was a 7, and that's pretty good for me
That's very
because
good.
I don't even like the movie. But that's you know.
All right.
Practical effects were really good. They were
Yeah.
impressive. I like her head. We're gonna call her Beth, the lead girl. At the end, after he's ripped her head off, right? And her head's on the ground. That was really trippy because it didn't look like the earth
Yeah, because
was
you could still
disturbed.
see her looking around.
Right. They
That
did
was
that
creepy.
really well. That was
That
very
was creepy.
disturbing. Because normally when they do those, you can tell, oh, the earth is lifted up and she's totally under there and blah blah blah. But that they did that really well.
Yeah.
That's the only saving grace from this movie is they're really good.
Okay, and finally, atmosphere.
The little town was creepy.
Yeah.
They pulled that off really well, but the rest of it, and the very ending, because you think, oh, he's gonna save the day, and then it spoiler alert.
I actually
Total
like
invasion
that.
of the
I actually
body
like that
snatchers.
ending
No,
because
that's what I'm saying.
it literally is dooming everyone in
Right.
the country.
I think they pulled the ominous feeling towards the end. That very from the town. All that felt pretty good, pretty hardcore, disturbing, creepy. The earlier stuff, not so much at all. But those two parts really, and the scene with her in the car, out on the hillside.
Yeah, the latter part of the movie probably more so.
Yeah, the latter part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not to mention, I do love the ending where even though he is trying so damn hard to get these guys to shut off the commercial when it does, and then of course it cuts out when he's literally screaming, just trying to stop the commercial, and then
Right.
it ends right there.
Right. That
You
was
basically
good.
feel like, oh shit, I think he
Damn.
might have just lost.
Right.
The hero
Very-
loses
It
in the
was
story.
very Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the second one, the moment, right? It's like bang, it's over.
Yeah.
Or
So
you think he's gonna get it, and then
yeah, and then if just basically humanity, the United States is doomed,
right.
along with Canada and Mexico if you count them. Because I don't think they ever got the mask, but if they did, well then they're fucked.
Right.
But yeah, honestly though, it actually is a really interesting bit of atmosphere because even though it makes you feel like the heroes might win, but it's right near the end when you realize, oh shit, they're not going to win this time, are they?
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually
feel
would give it
that
high.
very, very ending was good, but the whole Cochran, his finale was just pithy. That's crap.
Yeah.
That was crap.
Yeah, I'm being honest here, guys. If I'm gonna go atmosphere, the atmosphere is more goofy at the start of it,
Yeah.
at the start and then the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
But near the end is actually relatively what you would expect for Halloween. Literally being filled with dread and not knowing if any of the characters are gonna make it out of
Well,
this.
I'll give it a 6. I still think
That's a
Goofy
good,
is
fair.
a good.
6.
Yeah,
I'll give it
Goofy is a
6.
good.
I'm gonna actually give it a
Analogy.
7 because like I said, the ending in a way makes up for a lot of the stupid stuff in the movie.
I'm still very bitter about the potato bug thing. I feel that was uncalled for and revolting.
What a total Northern California thing.
Oh, that's true.
11.
Oh my
Some
god.
people don't even know what potato bugs are.
Good for them. You
Yeah.
don't want to know. Don't
But
Google
boy,
it.
do we
Don't
know,
look at it.
'cause
It's-
we
ugh.
grew up with them. Yikes.
Ugh. That was
Ooh, I remember
nasty.
I used to
On
come
her
across,
face?
Yes.
Oh, God.
We used to come
I hope
across
they paid
those.
her really well for that, because that was disgusting.
We used to come across those all the time when we lived in the country. Oh, it was horrifying.
Ugh. Like centipedes. No. I don't miss.
Oh,
I
see,
don't miss potatoes.
Potato
Oh, right.
bugs, I kill me
Ow.
more than even centipedes.
Are you alright?
I just poked myself with a pen. Just want to make sure that this isn't blood. Nope, I'm good. It was just a pen mark. Jeez, that hurt.
Okay, what's
I actually
our
got
scores?
stabbed with that thing. Alright. Your original score was 20.
Yes.
You gave it...
Higher.
Is it higher?
It's higher.
Hold on. I want you to guess how high.
I would say she probably came out to maybe about a 35.
31.
Wow.
You were very merciful on this movie from the original score.
That's
Yes.
true.
I
Well,
could tell.
Your
you were-
score. You originally gave it a 35.
I'm probably on the mark or close to it.
25.
Oh, wow.
You hated this movie.
Yes, I hated it.
I have to give credit where credit is due. The plot is just fucking absurd, but it's very. I've never seen anything like it.
No,
you know.
no.
All right.
That is for sure.
My
And I hope to
all
never
right.
see anything again
The
like it.
practical effects
All right.
were epic and disgusting.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. My original score was 40. My score, yes.
I'm gonna say like closer to 50.
I'm going to say 42.
38.
38. Wow.
Really? Wow.
I was being more critical, but I did address a lot of the stuff that they did do well in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. you did.
So, honestly, I was much closer to my score than you two were.
That's very
You
true.
two were completely different.
Off the board.
You were 10 points less than your original
That's 'cause I
score,
totally detest the movie.
and you were 11 points more than
Well, because
yours.
I'm trying to be like, a rational reviewer, like, and not let my emotions for
Oh, I'm
despising
not. I'm
the
not
movie.
rational at all when it comes to this movie. Not at all.
Atrocious.
Yes.
Good lord.
It's
But
actually one of my
Terrible.
least favorite movies that I've seen horror-wise.
until
I've
you
seen
watch
a
the
lot of
other
really
movies, and
bads.
you'll actually
Okay,
think it's worse.
And I'm going to now because I'm
Yeah.
interested.
Trust me, even though that the story with Laurie's cousin is pretty cool in the Halloween 4 and 5, but 6, oh god, it just why?
Okay, well, I will give you
why?
my review of that later.
And then of course, then there's Halloween H2O. That's great.
I
That was
love
awesome.
that.
Halloween Resurrection. That was stupid.
I'll have to watch that again too.
Halloween Rob Zombie 1 and 2. Good movies. Halloween 2018. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've only seen the one Rob Zombie and I didn't care for it. So,
Yeah, the second one is
Oh, I
definitely
liked
more of a
it.
psychological profile,
yeah.
but it's still pretty zany though.
But see, I'm kind of a true, but I'm kind of a Rob Zombie freak.
I
though.
know you love Rob
I
Zombie.
like all of
He's
his-
so gratuitous that it
Had
distracts
1,000
from the story.
corpses.
It was actually a ride over in Universal Studios before it ever became a movie. And you want to know the crazy thing is that technically they were going to make the movie, but they basically bowed out. So it was an independent film.
And
Yeah,
the
that's-
three
that's
rejects or
wildly clear.
rejects, what's it called?
There's
Devil's
Three
Rejects.
from Hell, and then there's
Three
The
from
Devil's
Hell,
Rejects.
I like them all.
I like the one in
I mean,
Mexico.
they're all
The Devil's
horrifying.
Rejects, in my opinion, is still the best one.
Is
They're
that
all-
the one where they go to Mexico?
That's Three from Hell.
Oh, okay, that's
They're
In
all-
my personal opinion, Three from Hell's the worst.
They're all horrifying.
Yeah.
When you look at them, I mean, they're just like the epitome of the worst
Of humanity.
of humanity.
It's gratuitous though. It
It
takes
is.
away from like the actual.
But you can't help
You
but
so expect something.
However, in
revolting
this
and
case-
But you can't help
atrocious
but-
to happen.
you
Des,
can't help but be
Hey,
interested in watching it. 'Cause it's like
Here's
so
the thing.
far-
The reason why I'm gonna say this outright is that with those movies, you expect it to be that.
Right.
So you just can't make that excuse. Where Halloween, yes, the Halloween remakes, yeah, you can make
Okay,
you
but
can
then
make that excuse.
comparatively, like Alfred Hitchcock, he doesn't need to show you all that disgusting. He doesn't need to show
True.
you gore. He doesn't need
True.
to show you the
Do you
horror.
know when he made
You
those
feel It, you
movies?
sense it.
That-
No,
The-
I know, but I
Made
whole
in the
different
early
era.
60s.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm
So there's
saying
no
he
way
didn't
in
need
hell that you would have been able to. He would be able to get away with some of that stuff
See,
because it
nowadays,
was a lot
though-
more restrictive back in the 60s than it ever was in
No, but
modern,
I'm saying
modern
he
movies
still
now.
scares the crap out of you. Hitchcock's movies still get
Yeah.
under your skin and freak you out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Without being gratuitously gory.
I think that's
or
the
TNA.
that's the reality of our environment now.
that we're so desensitized that we
Exactly,
need Rob Zombie to
exactly.
make like
Well-
a porno gore.
Well,
Actually-
that's what,
Film?
yes, it
Hold on,
is. It's
hold on.
sad, but
That's
it is.
embarrassing.
It
Hold
is.
on.
embarrassing.
Nowadays, they
It
are
is.
making movies more based on scares nowadays.
I know.
Look at
and that's
Sinister.
disappointing.
But
Or
there
in
was
Hold
a
on.
period. No, he's
Hold on.
talking like scare factor, not so much.
Yeah.
Psychological.
Yeah, but look
Yeah.
at this. Sinister, Insidious, The Conjuring. They didn't need gore to have great scares.
No, they were just
Right.
creepy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even Annabelle, for as much as I hate that freaking
Ooh, I
doll.
love that movie though.
Oh,
Even though the doll is
I
completely
don't like the
inaccurate, it was actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
That's very
Which is
disturbing.
why they call
Yeah.
it Annabelle.
Oh, that makes sense.
Good lord, that doll is freaky.
That was great.
But
great,
you
great
get my
movie.
point, though.
And you know what the strange thing is? Those movies are not even compared to the Raggedy Ann movie. I'm gonna say it straight out. That movie is just freaking messed up.
Well, and like the birds and stuff. That's more like almost like that's not even considered.
That's more like-
suspense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
that's
I'm
almost
saying
like a
It
suspenseful
gets under
movie.
your skin.
Oh,
it
yeah,
freaks you
without
out,
being
without being like
disgusting
tits like blowing up in your
Yeah.
face.
Actually,
You know,
look
like
at look at
gore.
the most recent film they made, Lighthouse. That one's more of a psychological movie, and that one did incredibly well.
Right.
Lighthouse. That's what
Yeah, it's a black and white movie they made for this generation.
I'm
It's
just saying,
fantastic.
I feel like it's unnecessary. I see Rob Zombie's genre all to his own, and
Yeah, he
I
had-
nod to that. He's
yes,
definitely
he
his
has
own vibe.
But
But I don't feel like that's necessarily good art, in my opinion.
well,
Compared
no, it's
to
not.
like Hitchcock, where that's like a masterpiece. Of
It's not good
cinema
art.
and
It's not good
suspense.
art, but it is what it is. And
it's just
and
fun.
there's-
Are we
yes.
gonna just call it fun?
Yeah, but what-
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
hang
know.
on.
No, it's sinisterly
Hang on.
horrifying.
All right.
It's like depravity at its
Finest.
ultimate.
Right.
That's what I think is so revolting and what's so startling about it. It's just so
Over the top.
well. It's like
Gratuitous.
Yes.
Basically,
Wow,
Basically, it's like one of the characters says, "I am
it's
the
intense.
I am the devil," or in this case, I work for the devil and I do the devil's work.
Right.
Basically, that's who he believes he is.
Right.
But yeah, if you look at other movies, and yes, I actually found out these movies are in horror. Jaws is one of them, and Jurassic Park.
Oh, I love Jaws.
Jurassic Park and Jaws.
I like Karen
Steven
Black
Spielberg
in
made some great movies out of it, and he
Right.
didn't need too much gore.
He didn't. That's what I'm trying to say.
Heck, if you think
It's-
about it,
it's
Steven Spielberg was
unnecessary.
the one who introduced CG as an actual useful art to bringing creatures to
Right.
life. Look at the
My-
dinosaurs.
My point with Rob is that it's
E.T.
so
that's not
expected.
horror.
It's
No,
the
but it's-
gratuity.
But
is-
yeah, that's another movie. Good lord.
It's so expected with Rob that he's going to go over the line and be revolting
Yeah.
that it becomes predictable and
Yeah,
boring
yeah.
to me. That's all I'm trying to say. I find
Yeah.
him predictable and boring.
I don't find him predictable at all or boring.
You know it's going to be like shock after shock after shock after shock. So it's just like, oh yes, look, somebody got their head ripped off and somebody's raping it now. You know what I mean? That's like, there you go. That's Rob. It's not surprising
It is
anymore.
predictable for Rob,
Right.
but it's
Yeah, but look at
so extreme.
all right.
I think that's the reason why it's so shocking.
Yeah, all right. Then how about this one? What about the
It's
Saw
shocking.
movies?
It's just not interesting.
It's shocking to me.
What about the Saw movies?
I haven't seen any of those.
The Saw movies, that's really hard for me to watch, just like Hostel.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Hostel
Saw, the
is
first
really
movie,
difficult for me
was
to
mainly
watch.
the mystery of the Jigsaw killer.
Right.
And the second movie actually acted more like a proper sequel because now that everyone knows who he is, now they're trying to hunt him down, and of course, he's still manipulating things from behind the scenes.
I take Saw
Look at the
over
third
more
movie.
psychological
Yes.
too, though.
Exactly. Saw, in a way, for me, the first 3 Saw movies, and yes, I'm even going to say 4, all of them had more of a psychological
We'll have to watch
analysis
those.
of those ones.
Actually, the
lovely.
Saw movies are actually pretty good.
The only ones I don't like is Saw 5 and 3D.
Right.
Other than that, though, the rest of the franchise is still really good.
Now the Hostels.
Hostels are just
Hostel,
torture porn. I'm just going to say straight
yes,
out.
it is,
Right.
and I
Well,
don't
that's
like
what I
that.
view
And you want to know
Saw
the crazy thing is?
Yeah.
They called Saw torture porn back then.
Okay.
How in the
See,
world is that even possible?
No.
That's
Even
what I
that
view
one's
Rob
not
as.
that
He's
bad.
just gratuitous. He's like porno gore
Yeah,
porn.
pretty
That's-
much.
I don't have much respect for
And
that.
actually,
To me, it's more depravity.
Yeah.
Again,
They are
it's just
so-
gratuitous. It's so over
Yeah,
over
true.
so much that it's just like, okay,
yeah,
It's pretty intense.
you've lost sight of the point of storytelling.
true.
That's true.
Visual storytelling.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like
Because it's just random slaughtering.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
And depravity. And
he's a master at it though. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
he's like
He has
in
his
the
own
top,
category.
Like, that's Rob. There
Yeah,
you go. You know.
true.
But that's not what I'm into. I just
Yeah.
don't. I feel like if you're gonna make a movie, you should try to reach multiple audiences
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
true.
just the people that like to
That's
jack
true,
off
because-
when somebody gets their head cut off.
Yeah, that's true. There
You
is
know what I mean?
there are few people that can stomach the
Right.
Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah, and
Really.
also, if we're gonna take a look, actually, one of the guys who created the Saw films, he actually made a more recent film. So I think sometime in the last 2 years called Upgrade. Highly recommend watching that movie. Fantastic, really good job on that one. Cinematography is impressive as well. But yeah, it's almost like how they talked about Sam Raimi and how he did the Evil Dead movies. And the Evil Dead movies, it was about shock and exploitation horror.
Right.
It created that genre. And it did a really good job with the practical effects. It didn't even need any CG because, well, CG was barely even used during the early 80s, so in the mid 80s.
Right.
So on you like when she got stabbed by that pencil and then the markings
Right.
started showing up.
Right.
Thank you so much for liking the stream there. Ichaba Samsuk. Okay. Still, thank you so much for the like there. If you guys like what we do, please follow the channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook.
I'm gonna
But-
totally check out Upgrade.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, for what it's worth, if you take a look at The Evil Dead, it's very much all of it's practical, and all the actors who got beat up in that movie, they actually did get beat up. It was like one take. They did not even have any stunt actors.
We're actually getting ready to. We just started watching the remake
Of Evil Dead.
of Evil Dead.
Yeah, the remake
Earlier.
is again another good one. You could definitely
Yes.
tell some of it was less practical gore, but most of it was,
I
which
thought
again
it was
pretty
better.
cool.
In that the Evil Dead original is very over the top, ridiculous.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's what Sam Raimi was going for.
That's
It's supposed
true.
to be like
Where-
it's supposed to be goofy. A little,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
that's true.
funny as
like
well as
mock
Whereas the
horror.
horrifying.
It's like
remake,
mock horror.
the remake
No,
was more like
remember the
actual
words I just said.
scary.
Shock exploitation.
Right.
That was his goal. It didn't matter as long as he made sure it was that. He was golden.
Definitely shock
Where
and
in the
exploitation.
where in Evil Dead remake, it was meant to be a horror film based on that.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And there are
absolutely,
too many
absolutely.
damn references. Okay, you're just gonna owe us drinks later, but that's basically it. Oh, hey, how you doing there, Oz? Straight welcome.
Hi.
But yeah, for what it's worth, though, that's where I think where Halloween, in a way, actually back then, most people thought Halloween was shock exploitation back then, and it was the thriller movie of the century.
Right.
And
True.
in a way, you would think that, and it's completely understandable. So.
Yep.
I guess it also just depends on the timing. Hell, if you look at Sam Raimi at this point, he got
era,
and look at Sam Raimi. He literally got death threats and was being sued just because of the movie.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, parents were literally outraged.
It's ironic though because they kind of, well, you'd think like from the time, I guess because the teenagers are sort of out of control in the Halloween movies. You know, they're like all, and the final girl is like the epitome of not out of control. She has total control. She doesn't cross the line. She doesn't break any rules in the Halloween movies.
Oh yeah,
Lori.
Yeah.
You would think it's almost like you would think they would appreciate the Halloween movies, the parents at the
Yeah.
time, because kids,
she's a total goody two
right?
shoes.
She's the only one that survived.
No, Sam
Yeah.
Raimi never
You know?
directed that.
No, who are you talking about?
I was talking about Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
Evil Dead, that one really, people were sending death threats to him and even trying to sue him for pretty much everything that movie did. And
Well-
yet, the movie still succeeded beyond expectation, though.
There's some issues. There's some issues.
yeah.
It gained such a
see
cult
that.
following, it gained a
Well, and I
sequel
think-
very shortly after.
I think the whole idea of the thing with the cult and everything, I think that's probably a big portion
And
of that.
of course, if we look at movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night, even that one was getting harassed.
Right.
And they even took it out of theaters after 2 weeks of being out.
So how were the Halloween movies, the first one specifically, how was that one taken?
That one was taken
audiences.
incredibly well by critics and audiences.
Parents didn't take issue with it?
No, parents actually enjoyed how realistic it was.
Right.
But at the same time,
It was a well-made
very
movie.
much very subtle in its approach
Yeah.
rather than all the other ones that were being made.
Right.
Like in Silent Night, Deadly Night, there was a starting scene where a mother was not only being raped but murdered by having her throat slit in front of her own children.
Yuck.
And then, of course, there was The Evil Dead, where it had the tree literally, well, basically raping one of the main characters.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but in this one, it's more subtle in its approaches, but it made it work, especially for a horror movie of that caliber at the time. And
You're always going to have that group of people, parents or whatever, that
Yeah.
are going to be like anti whatever.
actually,
Anti-cult.
What's her name?
Huh?
What's Tippy Gore, or what's her name?
She's from Tippy. Isn't she the one from Bird?
No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Tippy, but the Al Gore's wife, didn't she have like a big thing in Congress, like
Oh, I don't know.
against
I just know that there's always going to be that group of people that are going to be,
deeply opposed?
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if you take a look at Nightmare on Elm Street, and yes, I'm going to reference this, is that
Tipper Gore. Excuse
Tipper
me,
Gore,
sorry.
yeah, but in the Nightmare on Elm Street, did you want to know what his original backstory for Freddy Krueger was supposed to be? It wasn't just a child murderer. He was a pedophile.
oh yeah, no, I knew that.
That one wasn't introduced until the remake, which made him even more of a monster than he was.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
In the original, though, he was just a child murderer.
Yeah,
That was it.
In the sequels, though, that
And in
was
my
very
pers-
creepy.
Yeah, in my personal
Yeah.
opinion,
Really
though,
creepy.
I am actually really grateful they didn't make him a pedophile in that one, because, good lord, they would have just gotten him off
They
the
would
freaking
have
theaters
never-
at
yeah,
that point.
It probably
Right.
wouldn't have even made it to a second or third or fourth.
Showing. Yeah,
Yeah, because
absolutely
it was that was creepy after
That's a
that.
line.
Knowing,
not. That's a line.
Yeah,
that
and-
was what it was
yeah,
based on.
exactly. And so for what I believe is that, yes, we had a moral ambiguity in the 80s and 70s that was, actually mainly 80s, that was absolutely overblown. It was just to a point where you basically couldn't get away with anything.
Right.
It's like cancel culture nowadays.
Right.
Cancel culture has gotten, in my personal opinion, more ridiculous, but a lot less worse than it was back then. Because
Right.
back then, they would cancel a movie outright.
Right.
They were even thinking of canceling Secret of Nim back in the day for
That
how
movie
dark
is
that
hella
movie
creepy.
went.
But you know,
But
it is a masterpiece.
It didn't.
You're right.
They got away with it, thank God, because that movie is a fantastic movie.
Well, I think they lose focus of what the original goal was with, you know.
Yeah. So honestly, so for those of you guys who think that cancel culture has gotten worse in recent years, think about it.
No.
Back then, in
was
the
worse
80s,
back
it was
then.
worse back then. but there was also a moral ambiguity back then.
Right.
Nowadays, people are just doing it because they just want to have their 15 seconds of fame.
Yes, I agree.
Where in this one, not as much. Back then, there was actually a moral ambiguity that made the cancel culture actually feel a little relevant in some cases.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to do a little bit of retro evolution before we call this episode for today. First of all, we do have the question, if you were given a chance to do a sequel or whatever, what would you change in these films? Since I gave it a perfect score on Halloween 2, I can't do Halloween 2. But I am willing to try to make changes on Halloween 3. And since you guys never even gave a perfect score at all in any of those movies, so what would you say? We'll start with first Halloween.
The first one.
Oh.
The first Halloween.
I would give more of a hint about their
The back-
relationship
And the back,
how they're
a
related.
little bit more backstory.
to Michael. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would change that.
on one.
on
So
one.
you basically would have taken Rob Zombie's idea for him making the backstory,
Yeah.
and actually would have added that type
Yeah.
of style for.
I'm
Yeah.
not giving
the
Rob
first one.
any credit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
the premise of it anyway.
The premise. I would have.
Yeah.
Well, they give it in the second movie. They
Yeah.
share that.
Yeah,
I would have pulled that
barely
into the
much.
first one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. All right. I could definitely see that. For me, I actually wouldn't have done that. For me, because I like the mystery of Michael Myers.
it's true. It is good.
It's honestly what makes him so terrifying is the
It's
mystery.
that you don't understand what his motivation is.
Exactly.
And I actually think the way I feel about Michael Myers in the first one versus like the Rob Zombie one, I feel differently about him as a character.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm more
So-
terrified of the original Halloween Michael Myers, and
Yeah,
I'm more
'cause he has
sympathetic
no-
to the Rob
Yes,
Zombie one.
because he has no.
I was sympathetic to the Rob Zombie one until he killed his friend.
Yeah, he
And then I
has
lost
no.
all.
It's like
Oh
No
no,
longer-
basically in that movie, he's gone so far off the deep end. He basically lost almost all of his humanity.
Yeah,
there
and
was
that's
only
what I
a
was
little
gonna
bit
say.
left for his
Yeah,
sister
yeah.
until she stabbed him, and then he's like, "Yep, screw it, I'm gonna kill you."
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel sad that she doesn't. That Lori, that the zombie one, doesn't understand their connection.
yeah,
Honestly, in
yeah.
my personal opinion, wouldn't it have been fun if she did understand it and
would've
actually
changed-
tried
I think it would've
to
changed
help
It would've
Michael?
changed the yeah, it would have
would've
changed
changed.
the entire
And it would have
movie.
made her more endearing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, for the original Halloween, if I were to make any changes, I think I would have tried to. I really would have tried to give Michael a little bit more.
humanity.
No, I actually would have made him
Clarity
more.
on his motivation.
No, just straight up. I wanted to kill more people.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
I want to see more bodies. I'm sorry. I just
You want the kill count up.
yes. In
Okay.
this case, yes, the kill count up because there were some very creative kills, and he decorated the house full of them. So
That's true.
you have to admit he was very creative for what it was worth.
And I have to say, I don't have too much sympathy for Lori's friends buying it. They weren't.
Yeah,
they're
no,
not
me
real
neither.
impressed.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know?
But yeah, that's definitely that would be the only real change, and like I said, it's not that much, honestly.
Right.
And
And the second one, I would clarify what.
I
happened
can't
to
talk about
Jimmy.
this movie. I already
you
called
won't.
it perfect.
You
so.
said it was perfect. I want to know what happened to Jimmy. Somebody Google it. I would clarify that.
And I also think that I actually think her friends were a tad bit nicer to her as a character than they were in the first one.
In the second one,
In the second one, they were
Yeah.
a little bit.
Her
nicer
friends are all
to her.
dead.
Jimmy.
No, in
You
the
mean
beginning,
Jimmy?
no. Those two girls.
Annie and Linda.
Oh wait,
Yeah, they're dead.
no, you're right. I was thinking of the Rob Zombie.
The Rob Zombie ones at least were somewhat sympathetic
Yeah.
to Laurie.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but Lori's character is, her first scene, she's totally vulgar and atrocious with
Yeah.
the bagel.
Well, again,
and
she
then
was.
her friends
hold
are all
on,
like, "Oh, you're
it's-
like Mother Teresa."
hold on.
Excuse me. Would
Hold on.
Mother Teresa know what to do
Hold
with her
on.
finger?
She
No.
was- First of all, they were making a joke because she's more of a moral person than those two.
Yeah, but
That's true,
but
And
but-
second,
that's
and
just
second,
her-
hey,
Uh,
and second, she was just trying to egg her mom on. That's all.
yeah, but she's not very
This is kinda
nice
funny.
to Tommy. She's not very nice to him when they first meet each other out when they're walking to school.
Yeah, yeah,
She's much less nice than Jamie's
Yeah.
Lori
yeah.
to the kids, you know?
But we're talking about 2.
Yes, I know.
Number 1
We
or
digress.
2.
As we do.
2? Okay.
I can't talk about 2. I already gave it a perfect score. I can't give it anything else other than that. I wouldn't change anything.
I just want to know what happened to Jimmy.
Yeah.
And
as
I
far
think
as
we would
the
get rid
other
of
one,
the-
we'd have to change everything on 3, so... In my opinion. No, I wouldn't change it. I like the atmosphere and I like the nostalgia of the town.
I would attempt to make the characters more endearing.
Yeah, the characters
Yes,
definitely
the
would be a
acting
major
in-
change
I
for me.
felt
The acting
legit
in
no
general-
sympathy for any of them except
And-
for the little boy and the mom.
And the acting in general was really subpar.
Yeah,
Really was.
for me, I definitely would say get rid of the whole Stonehenge thing. If you're gonna
Yes.
really want to like take over the world or take over the world plot, I actually would have been fine with that.
Right.
Do a
right.
psychological thing or whatever, but don't Stonehenge. I mean, please.
Yeah, that was honestly stupid. Yeah,
Yeah. And all the
Stonehenge
light
is mysterious.
stuff, man,
Yes,
that
we
needs
all
to
know
go.
Stonehenge is mysterious, and yeah, scientists are still trying to figure out how the heck that thing even happened. But for what it's worth, though, I think get rid of Stonehenge, make it more a take over the world plot, and I think that could
The
easily
light, the light
instead of-
effects
More
need to go.
That's more relatable.
Yeah.
the
way more
characters
relatable.
definitely need a major improvement on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other than that, though, the rest of it was actually not that bad.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, and now we have, of course, the questions. Our first question came from someone that was actually working at McDonald's. They came out and I actually asked them a question. They asked if you were to make your own Halloween 3, because even she didn't like the third movie, what would you make the third movie about instead of it being the season of the witch?
I'd make it follow the family still, Lori and Michael.
Yeah.
You know. Because he's still roaming out there, right? In the end of the second one. So
Pretty
he's
much,
still
yeah.
out there, isn't he? In the
Yeah.
end of the third one, I would pick up
In
right
the end
there.
of
just
the, in
like
the end of the second one,
one.
he was still on the loose.
Right. I would
Actually,
pick up
no.
right there.
Technically, he was supposed to be dead in the second movie,
Quote, unquote,
but
dead.
ever since Halloween 4 came out, that means he's on the loose.
Right. I'd
For,
pick up right there.
for me, I actually would have liked to see what would have happened to, because if you're gonna make it a sequel to 4, 5, and 6, then honestly, don't change anything about it. Just keep it a blank space. Go straight to 20 years later.
Right.
That sort of stuff. But if you're gonna follow Laurie's cousin, I want to see Laurie die and actually get a confirmed death,
Right.
instead of being referenced in the movie in Halloween 4 and 5.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
the one that we saw with Jamie older with her daughter, and I would like to see the Jamie with her partner. You know, her life after
the
all
family
this.
dynamics after,
Right.
yeah.
Actually,
After
that
the
would have been
trauma.
pretty cool if you want to
After
make
the
a
trauma.
if
Yeah.
you want to make a sequel to the Halloween 2018. Why not see Laurie with a family and actually see what was going on through her life, especially
before.
after Michael Myers
Yeah,
was put in
exactly.
prison.
That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, so in this particular case, I gotta say, it would have been very interesting to see how that would work out.
Right.
But again, that would be how I would personally make a third Halloween movie.
Ditto.
Is if, depending on the time period though, I'm guessing that I would have made one more towards 4 and 5.
Right. In the middle.
Rather-
In the middle.
Rather
Yeah.
than the 20th anniversary and the 2018 one.
Right. I like the 20th anniversary one, but I want something in between from the second to to that.
Yeah, 4,
With
5, and
Laurie.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
The next question is, and this is actually a funny one. This dude really wanted to make a funny joke out of it, but also, if you were to, and this is mainly for you two, because I told my guest stars were women. If you were to date any of the horror movie icons, which one would you choose?
Okay, give us a list of the icons.
Well, all right,
Is it
we
the
have Chucky
traditional?
from Child's Play.
God, no.
We have Scream's Ghostface.
No.
No.
We have Michael Myers from Halloween.
It's probably going to be Michael Myers.
There's Freddy Krueger from
No.
No cuddles there.
from Nightmare on Elm Street. Jason Voorhees
No.
from
He gets
Friday the
violent with
13th.
sex. They all do, though. Wouldn't be a good
Michael Myers isn't about sex, so.
date. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
We also have Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Michael Myers.
Let me see, and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Michael Myers.
He eats people. No.
I'd take Michael Myers any day.
All right, so yeah, he was right. He said that most likely they're gonna pick Michael Myers, considering that he's the most human out of them all.
True.
Yeah.
Ghostface, you're not going to get any kisses, but you could still kiss Michael through the mask. Sure, Michael. We'll go with Michael.
Well, all right, so yeah, unfortunately there are no horror movie villain S's in this case for me, so I can't necessarily answer the question this time.
Harley Quinn. Isn't she a villainess?
Not in horror movies.
Well, no. I don't know.
If it was comic book movies he was saying, then yes, I would go either Harley Quinn or Poison Ivy.
Oh, I love Poison Ivy.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so, yeah, because, well, for one thing, she could control plants, and good lord, with man-eating plants on your side, that would be pretty freaking cool.
That would be
Actually,
cool.
the new Harley Quinn cartoon series actually has her married. And she's actually used her powers to protect him in some cases. So.
Sweet.
And he actually helps out when he can. He's more emotional support, but he's also very much protective of her too. So I think it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
But yeah, all right. The next question is, and this is actually a pretty interesting one. If you were in a town filled with every horror movie villain ever made, all of them vying for a chance to kill you, what would you do to survive? Because we're also including Jeepers Creepers. We're also including freaking, let's see,
I'd load up
Hannibal.
on the weaponry.
I'd load up on the weaponry, find myself a good basement, stock it with a bunch of food and stuff.
And then remember, these guys only come out on Halloween. That's it.
Okay, so then I'd stockpile.
Right, stockpile.
In a
Build a
burrow.
fortress.
Yeah.
Build a
A
fortress.
burrow, like a
Yeah.
underground burrow thing.
Get a small army of friends.
Yeah.
That are well trained in weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
No, the rest of the townspeople are just normal townspeople, but they also have to deal with the situation.
That's okay though, because we could teach them.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say this is because there's actually a fan-made trailer called, I think it was something with Halloween, basically, but it's the town's called Halloween, and he basically edited that one, edited all of the favorite horror movie villains of all time, all in one place.
That's funny. I think I've heard of that.
I'll have to show you guys the trailer later.
Load up on
But
weapons. Do it.
But yeah, for me,
Fight.
for me,
I'm like a zombie apocalypse kind of girl, so
yeah,
Bring
but here's
it
the
on,
thing:
Mo
you
Fire.
are not dealing with zombies here. You're dealing with freaking horror movie villains
Across
that
the
have
board.
dealt across the
think-
board in every single instance.
I
Like
think
you have the
that's-
flying capabilities of Jeepers Creepers. You have, of course, Jason Voorhees being freaking
Yeah,
immortal.
but I think
you have
that as
Michael
long as
Myers,
you're-
who is very calculating.
I think that as long as you're like
Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger kills you in your dreams.
that's true. I forgot about that.
Coffee.
No, even coffee is not help.
Jet alert.
Well, that's why I would bury myself in a cow or in a
I would take
What
some
are those
drugs that
bomb
can suppress my
shelters?
Bomb
dreams.
shelter.
bomb shelter, and I'd have all my
Yeah,
my
but then you couldn't
weapons.
get out. You have to have like an underground as well as above ground.
Right, that's fine.
Up high, so
Yes.
you can do like the sniper thing to take them out as
Right.
they come at you.
But if I
first.
stay in the underground thing and they can't find me,
Yeah, but inevitably.
They'll find
it's
you.
only for for Halloween, right?
That's true.
So
Yeah,
There
but
you
at the
have
same
it.
time, these guys have found people in other hiding spots. Even in the 2018 remake of Halloween,
look at
Laurie
all the
Strode of
people
all
out there that they can munch on and kill. They're not going to care about me. in my
Oh,
little
they'll
cavern.
find you.
My answer is just gonna be fight. Just
Yes,
fight.
yeah.
I would fight.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one more question before we end the episode. And this is actually a three-parter question. It's mainly a choice of between three different versus matches of horror movie villains.
Okay.
Who do you think would personally win in a fight? The first match is Michael Myers from Halloween versus Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. Because nowadays Michael Myers is almost on par with him when it comes to his healing.
Well, I'm
and
going to say Michael
surviving
Myers
all
because I like
sorts.
Michael Myers.
But doesn't Jason have like rejuvenative?
Pretty much, he's
supernatural
basically cannot die.
Slug something or other.
Well, I think Michael
powers?
Myers does too, in a way.
That's true. He did
Nowadays,
get shot 3
yes.
to possibly
Yes,
6
so-
times.
Okay, who's the next match?
The next match is Freddy Krueger versus Pinhead.
I don't know too much about Pinhead, but
I don't
Freddy
like
can kill you in your
Pinhead.
sleep. So
Well,
the
they're
dude's gotta
both-
sleep at some point.
Both Pinhead and Freddy Krueger have something to do with another
realm.
I would say
I like Freddy's sweater. I'm just gonna vote for him.
I think
his
Freddy.
Christmas
I don't
sweater.
like Pinhead at all, so I'm gonna
His
say
Christmas
Freddy.
Sweater.
Mhm.
His ugly
Okay.
Christmas sweater.
Except for the pedophile part.
That's very disturbing.
Yeah, in that particular case, they only made that an actual thing in the remake.
Yeah.
He wasn't that way in the original movies.
Okay, what's the next one?
And we have another one. It is Ash Williams versus Leatherface.
Leatherface.
That's true. In the second remake,
For me, I gotta go with Ash.
he's got the ability to turn a chainsaw on with one arm. A full
Yeah.
chainsaw.
Here's the thing, though.
That's magic.
Here's
huh?
the thing, though. There is also Ash Williams, who's dealt with that stuff before.
True.
Yeah, but
Remember, this is a guy who
Leatherface
faced down
is-
deadites, zombies, undead magicians. He's faced them all. And I did read the comic book series, actually. And yes, he's faced down against all those horror movie villains and has managed to escape with his life. So
Well-
it's possible he could beat him.
Possibly, yeah.
Leatherface does have a little bit of a sad story too.
Unfortunately, it is sad that he's pretty much abused by the rest of his family.
Right.
So that sucks.
Well,
Heck,
and I know
in
the
one of the remakes, he
backstory
actually
on
plays the
the-
hero for a second.
I know the
Yeah,
backstory
that's
on
true.
Leatherface too, which makes him a little bit more, or a little less. I'm not going to
Inhuman.
say endearing because
That's too strong a word.
That's too strong of a word. But I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
So
Feels more sympathetic.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Ash would probably win because he's a veteran, basically. Is
That's
what you're
true.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a veteran of the horror genre in its entirety.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably right.
Okay, another one is Ghostface, and this is gonna be interesting. And I think you guys are gonna like the other person I'm gonna choose here, Hannibal.
Oh, that's no question. Hannibal is so much more intelligent than a teenage boy. Right?
Yeah, but
On
here's
a rampage.
but here's the thing. Remember, each Ghostface is different. You
That's
can't
true.
necessarily get rid of him that easily.
That's true.
Someone else will take the Ghostface
I
mask
didn't mean
and
to
try
be
to get him.
offensive to teenage boys. Excuse me. I just meant that Hannibal's like a genius.
Oh yeah,
is he not?
I would say Hannibal myself because he is very intelligent.
Right.
There was only one other person that was ever able to get him, and that was in the main hero in both Red Dragon and Manhunter.
And basically, he manipulates other people to kill.
He's great.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
As a villain.
as a villain,
Yes.
the actor
all
actor
of
is
his-
great.
All of his movies are great.
The actor
His-
himself
his
is
character is great. The whole
I
whole
will say, but
section.
you have a point, Mr. Retro, about that Ghostface rejuvenates because it's just literally.
great. It's not really
another
rejuvenation;
person-
it's more like someone else
No, he
takes
takes
his
up
place.
the mantle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
takes
Like
up
Exactly,
the
pass down the
technically
mantle to someone else.
The villain, the essence of the villain itself, keeps going.
Yeah.
So that would be hard to kill off when it's literally just another person taking it over again and again and again.
Unless he gets rid of the person beforehand.
Right.
Like if he figures out, okay, so this person is now coming after me. Now I just have to make sure to eliminate him so that the cycle doesn't continue. It's actually really interesting.
No, I still think I still got to go with Hannibal.
Yeah, I gotta go with Hannibal too.
Because he's manipulative, whereas
He's super
Ghostface
smart.
is just really like, bam, you know,
He's
like.
an idiot.
Okay. Actually, we'll also answer another question, honestly. I think we still have enough time for a couple more. Another question is, and this is actually really interesting. What would you guys say is your so bad it's good horror movie?
That would be Evil Dead.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch you. You do not call it so bad it's good film. It's good.
So bad it's good.
That is Evil Dead.
I've lost all respect for you now.
I know I apologize, but I stand where I stand.
I lost my respect for both of you now.
She likes Evil Dead. She's a big fan of
So
Evil
bad
Dead.
it's good?
Yeah.
She means the movie's
is.
bad overall.
No, it's so ridiculous that it's good, is what I mean.
Let me see. I
For me, so bad it's good film. Even though I do love Halloween 3, for what it's worth, even though I did give it a lower score, I am going to say it's got to go to Jason X.
That's true.
For me, that one's my guilty pleasure in a way.
That movie is definitely a guilty pleasure. That's the one on the spaceship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't think. I think I like, like
That's not
Piranha
me.
and Jennifer's Body. And, I mean, they're not bad. I think they're just
Actually,
silly.
that
They're
might
more
have been
fun, Ginger Snaps. It's fun.
Love Ginger Snaps.
Right. It's fun. I'm saying it's
Jennifer's
fun.
Body. I
It's
love
fun.
that too.
That's one of our favorites.
Yes.
All right, so you guys see Jennifer's Body is yours?
Well, it's not bad,
Yeah,
I
it's not
can't
bad.
think of a movie that's so
I
bad
thought it
it's
was
fun.
pretty abysmal myself.
Evil Dead. Sure.
It's Evil Dead.
I can't think of one that I think is really terrible and yet amusing to me.
What about the tomato?
Attack of the Killer
Attack of the
Tomatoes.
Killer
That's pretty
Tomatoes.
fun. That's pretty fun.
Little Shop of Horrors.
That's excellent. That's not bad. That's just weird.
Actually, you should have seen the original ending for the movie. Hey, you should have
Oh.
seen the original ending. In the original ending, the love interest dies. Then, shortly after, the main hero dies.
That's horrible.
Then, at the end of the movie, all of humanity dies.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it was much darker in the original ending.
All right.
Okay. All right, and one more question before we end it. And actually, I do have an announcement. Sam, as you guys know, who's part of our D&D crew, had just gotten a job recently, which is, again, congratulations.
Yeah.
But there's also bad news. He will no longer be DMing for us this time.
Oh, bummer.
So he won't be available to continue DMing for the foreseeable future.
What's DMing?
Dungeon Master.
Oh, I'm sorry about
bummer.
that.
So he's no longer going to be a Dungeon Master.
Congratulations on the job,
Yes,
though.
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on the job, bud. And hey, if you ever want to try to have enough time to maybe come back and join up, let me know. But yeah, it looks like that we won't be able to have him join us this time around. So I may have to figure out what we're going to be doing for DMing in this case. So I'll have to figure out something, maybe adding a few more people in if we can. Right now, some of our people have been sick. That's the reason why they haven't been able to join us for a few of the sessions. Like Dr.
Right.
Death hasn't been able to join us.
Well, I hope everybody
Or-
feels better soon.
Yeah, I hope
well
so
soon.
too. So yeah, at this point, it's just me and Ryan. We're the only two healthy people in our group at this point. So we may cancel D&D Monday for this week. I don't know. I may have to double check with him and see if he can maybe get some people to join up.
Right, play it out.
Yeah, but until then, yeah, just
It's
want to let you guys
tentative.
know.
It's tentative.
Tentative.
I
Yeah,
have
tentative in this
what's
case.
that movie with the trolls with Ernest?
Trolls 2.
Yes, that's my guilty pleasure.
All right.
So bad, it's good. I love Ernest.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, and one more, and this is just mainly films in general. What would you say is the movie that you believe had the worst cop-out ending of all time? Like, a movie that should have had an ending that was
Mist.
completely
The
ruined.
Mist.
The Mist.
Bang. Ugh.
Yeah.
The Mist?
I hate
Yeah.
that movie.
For those of you guys who don't know, The Mist ends with the main hero of the group killing all of his friends, as well as, of course, his son, to make sure to give him a merciful death instead of being completely consumed by monsters.
Right.
Only for the military to then show up a few minutes later with them literally showing up, flamethrowers and everything, killing off the monsters, and he's left alone, miserable, and basically in total despair.
Yeah.
Where in the original book, the group lives, and they survive in the end.
I'm going to actually read the book, I think.
I
For me?
despise that movie.
For me?
It's so good until the ending, and then it's like, how dare you?
For me, I'm fine with the ending of The Mist. I think it's decent. But the one that pisses me off the most, and if anyone knows me, you know what I'm about to say. I Am Legend.
Oh, yeah.
That movie's ending is bullshit.
And it's a remake from Alpha Man.
But I actually like the movie overall.
Omega.
Here's the
Omega
thing.
Man. Excuse
Here's the
me.
thing.
I like the movie
The-
overall. I just don't like. I don't like
Yeah.
the ending, but I like the movie.
Yeah, here's the thing. The
And I
ending
love
is
Will
basically
Smith.
humanity rules, we're gonna live. But you want to know the strange thing is, the original ending of the book, as well as the deleted ending for the movie, was that Will Smith, the guy in the movie, Will Smith, he discovers that he's the monster in their eyes. The creatures that they've been killing off, the creatures that they've been fearing, are the new civilization. They're the new ones taking over where humanity left off. And guess what? He's now the boogeyman. He is the villain of the story, which absolutely makes the movie so much more relevant now than it ever was when they changed that freaking ending.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Because here's the thing. Basically, I get you want to make, humanity rules and all that. Yeah, in certain movies, that's understandable. But in this one, you don't do it.
Right.
It ruins the entire message of the story. And God bless it, this movie would have been a freaking masterpiece. I would have given this movie a 50 for how brilliant this movie was if it kept the original ending from the book.
Right.
But this is one of those times where the director was a complete asshat for getting rid of the movie's ending and just destroying what made the book so freaking good. And this is also a reason why that I think sometimes most of the time the books are better than the movies.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Because look at that, we have Harry Potter as an exception. Yes, they weren't able to go into full detail in the original books, but at least they did really good with them.
Okay.
And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was fun, but this is one of those ones.
Right.
Anyway, I want to thank Puganeer 2020 as well as Billy Peddle for showing up today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yep. And I want to, next episode is going to be me, Ride Guy 1991, and Machine Rage, and we're going to be reviewing for our 10th episode Halo Master Chief Collection.
Sweet.
And then I think you're going to be gone this week, the week after, right?
Yeah, it's the 8th.
Yeah, so they won't. So we're not going to do another horror movie one until she gets back, and then we'll do Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halo Master Chief Collection is going to be happening next week on Saturday, same time. So until then, I hope you all have an amazing day. Do you guys have any final words?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yep. I hope you all have an amazing day. If you guys like what we do, please follow us on Twitch, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, and I hope you all have an amazing day. You guys are the reasons why I keep this channel going. I'll see you all next time. This is Mr. RetroActive signing out.
Bye.